Welcome back to another fun-filled show. I'm your host. He is Blanchard, aka Free Blanche, aka Blanchard Adamus, aka Blanchy Kruger. And today I have a special guest, Sub-Zero. I was just speaking with Sub-Zero the other day, and he got his account taken down by YouTube. So we're going to kind of talk about that and some other topics, what happened at Tennessee State, and also why aren't black men going to church? We have a few topics to discuss. But anyway, welcome back, you all. I'm going to just bring him up right now, let him introduce himself. And what's up, y'all, on Instagram?
Yo, what's up, brother?
Sub, what's going on?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well.
I'm doing well. I'm doing pretty good myself, bro. You are correct. They did take down my channel. This is my so they've taken down 2 channels. So I'm used to it. I've done videos called Silicon Valley Values about people that don't want opposing narratives and comments out. So what's up, K-Mac? Yeah, so I'm not really tripping about it. I mean, I'm kind of accustomed to it at this point now. It's like, whatever, man. You could do whatever. I'm kind of used to it. I'm going to just keep going. I mean, if I had to build my channel back, it is what it is. Not really tripping. I never really came on YouTube for money. So I just came up because it was just something that I just want to do to kind of vent, really.
Okay.
So, yeah, they got me, bro. Let me give y'all my new channel. If you mind if I put it in the chat?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me see if I can. Hold on one second. Here you go.
And
Yeah, so I just made another channel. And I'm going to probably just do some live videos and stuff like that over there, man, and just not even worry about trying to. There we go. Let me see if I can. Well, that's the channel ID. Hold on one second. Let me just take the link from the top.
You can put it in the chat?
I'm going to try to. Let me see if it'll let me. Yeah.
Okay, here we
there
go.
Is that it there? You see it?
Yeah.
So yeah, they got me. I'm not really. Guess who else got took down?
Who?
Making conservatism look cool again.
You know what? Well,
he took Malik down.
He hit me up, and he showed me that they didn't. They won't allow him to appeal his channel getting taken down on YouTube. He can't even appeal it. He sent me a screenshot today. But you know, it's crazy that I keep telling people that this whole, the right is winning and all. No, I said it's still the same people in charge. Like the same companies that were doing this were in charge in 2020 and 2021. They took my account, demonetized, shadow ban, the whole works. So the same folks are in charge.
Yep. It is what it is. I'm not, like I said, I'm not tripping. I never really came here to make money. Most I would get is like $150, $200 a month. Sometimes I think most I got was $270 one time. So it wasn't like I was, and that was just with people sending me super chats. I never monetized my videos. Can't monetize them because of the music intro stuff I would do.
Yeah.
And stuff. And I think it's either one or two things. I reacted to Jubilee's videos, and I think Jubilee has a connection with YouTube. So that's either that or I was just on the list, man. I think it was just my turn to be got,
You're on the list, and the sad thing about it is that you'll never get off the list. Think about a communist. If you're seen as a defector, you're never going to not be a defector. I don't care if you go to the gulag for 10 years and it don't matter. You're always going to be on the list. They'll never not take you off of their list. And so I know I did I covered something on Jubilee, and they gave me like a copyright and said I have to scrub that part of my video in order for it to be monetized. But even with monetization, I haven't seen it work. I mean, I've tried to do it. I've tried to post videos, and it just is what it is. So I'm gonna just post what I want to post, and then let the chips fall as they may. I wanted to read something that YouTube has put out. I'm gonna take your page down for just one second. I guess YouTube has sent this out, and people are highlighting this section 23 and 24. This is what YouTube said. The company terminated channels for reportedly violating its company guidelines on elections integrity content through 2023 and COVID-19 content through 2024. Today, YouTube's community guidelines allow for a wider range of content regarding COVID-19 and elections integrity. Reflecting the company's commitment to a free expression, YouTube will provide an opportunity for all creators to rejoin the platform if the company terminated their channels for repeated violations of COVID-19 and elections integrity policies that are no longer in effect. 24, YouTube values conservative voices on its platform and recognizes that these creators have extensive reach and play an important role in civic discourse. The company recognizes these creators are among those shaping today's online consumption, landing must-watch interviews, giving viewers a chance to hear directly from politicians, celebrities, business leaders, and more. What do you think about that?
Man, I mean, they're doing the devil's work. So they doing the work of Satan, man. It's the powers of darkness and evil doing what the powers of darkness and evil do. Lie, decide. I was at a guy on my channel right the other day before they got rid of it, where he was saying that conservatives are consistently proven wrong, right? And so, or not, yeah, he said conservative voters are consistently proven to not be legitimate as far as why they go against or why they vote. And I said, according to who? He said, well, exit polls show that. I said, well, exit polls also showed that Hillary Clinton was going to win the 2016 election. So you can't cite exit polls, or you can't cite, first of all, and then it's saying, like, for example, fact checking, right? Like if you go on Jubilee, you look at their debates, a lot of times their fact checks it's
horrible.
crap.
It's horrible.
Like, where y'all get these facts for? Y'all cherry picking these stats to make the liberal argument seem like it has some sort of merit when it doesn't. And so I've kind of given up on the whole idea of just listening to them. I mean, look, this is my second time they done took my channel down. I had 18,000 subscribers. I was well on my way to that 20,000 mark, which when you have 20,000 subscribers, then you get a phone number. You can actually reach out to somebody. If they take your channel and you get 20,000 subscribers, you gotta talk to somebody. And so right when I was heading, I was moving, I was growing, they took it. And so now it's like, this time I could tell something was up, because this other channel, the backup channel I had, I kind of jumped on there, started going live. And it took me years, man. I was putting up hundreds of videos, and I could not get north of 3,000 subscribers. And I just knew, I said, man, I go live. When I first got on my channel, this is how I knew something was up. I first got on my channel, and when they took my other channel, when I first went live on that channel, because I never used it, the first live I did, I got like 170 people, which I was like, this is more people than I was getting on the channel with 20,000 subscribers. Now I would average about 100, and I just consistently kept getting all these people on my lives in the morning. I was like, what's going on? And I just knew that it was, oh, you look nice, son. You look nice. I just knew that it was going to be one of those situations where I said, okay, so they were throttling my channel. They were basically just keeping it down from where it was. And I'm not mad about it, because you kind of know you're dealing with the devil.
Yeah.
These are the same people that believe that a child can, right 5 minutes before they come through the birth canal, you can terminate. Or I've even seen some of them say upwards of almost 2 weeks after birth, you can terminate.
Yeah.
Or, these are the same. So I'm like, people like that will cheat, steal elections. They're just immoral, and they'll celebrate. You remember I know you probably did a video on TMZ, about them celebrating Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
The fact that you got a group of people that are celebrating, I can't think of something bad happening to a liberal where I didn't celebrate the firing of Jimmy Kimmel, right? Or I didn't celebrate the death. I didn't, at the time I thought Saddam Hussein was this horrible, person. And when they hung him, I didn't celebrate that. I didn't even, I thought it was tasteless, to be completely honest with you, that Sean Hannity kept showing it on his website. He would send people to it to see him, a ruthless terrorist dictator meet his demise. I was like, bro, why y'all showing this man last seconds on earth?
Yeah.
Why y'all put this like that's tasteless? Okay, you don't like him, you disagree with his politics or whatnot. There is no reason to show this man, I just always felt like that. Bin Laden, when everybody celebrated that, I was like, okay, whatever. By the time Bin Laden happened, I was starting to have my doubts. But, even still, it's just you're dealing with, or you're fighting against a group of people that are immoral, that, believe a woman should be able to go out, be wild and promiscuous, not have any control over who she lets in her body, just do whatever she want to do, and be and then be sexually irresponsible and terminate, right? And that's just, it's immoral. It just is, man. So
hold on, let me ask you a question. So what do you think got your channel taken down? Like, what do you think it was? You think it was
I honestly, man, I think this is what happens. When it's a group of people, I'm not going to too much mention.
Hold on one second before you get started. Now there used to be a process where you got a strike, you got a warning,
yeah.
you got a warning, then the warnings led to an actual strike, and then you got 3 strikes before your channel was. So it's like it was a process, but you're saying that process was skipped.
They didn't let me know anything.
Okay.
They didn't let me know anything. They just what's up, Bapa? I'm trying to drop it in the chat. It's not showing for some reason.
It's on the screen though.
Yeah, right? But it didn't let. I don't know what. I done pasted it. I see it.
It's in the chat. That's where I got it from. I'm posting it from the chat.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So tell him, everybody scroll up in your chat and you'll see.
I'm gonna post it in the chat again.
Yeah, post it again, because that's why that's where I'm posting it from.
But yeah, I think they just put me on a list, man. I think and you could kind of see it because I'm hearing the other channels got terminated. I got a few calls from some of my subscribers. They was telling me some channels got terminated. You weren't the only one. Wasn't the only one.
But yeah, Alex Jones was on there a couple of hours. Nick Fuentes, they got terminated. So again, YouTube came out with this statement, but we see it's all a lie. Like it's not like think about they come out with a statement saying they're going to reinstate accounts, simultaneously shutting down accounts. Like it's just so, like you said, it's the devil, it's Satan.
Yeah, I think this is the thing. If you're gonna do videos, right, and you're gonna talk about Marxism, that's a very touchy subject.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk about U.S. foreign policy and talk about companies, or should I say organizations that can lobby both sides, both Republican and Democrats, if you're going to talk about the laws that the Trump administration is passing right now for a foreign country that are putting that country's needs and interests above the American citizens, right? If you're going to be down the middle, and of course, you got the LGBT. Don't forget that. Can't talk about that. So there are not that many issues that I feel as though you can just really take the gloves off and just tell the truth. And if I did, when I did talk about those things, I would swing over the Rumble. Or if I talked about the guy that, during in the late 30s, 1940s that we hated and has been seen as the devil, talk about that.
Yeah.
And I did a video. I knew I'm thinking now, I just did a video on him, but I went over to Rumble with the video. I started it, then I went to Rumble, and I just showed where I felt like this guy wasn't the devil that they made him out to be. He was just a man that loved his country, and and I don't hate him like that. I don't think he's the devil no more. Like I was brainwashed coming through the American education system. He's the worst. If you think of the worst, most evil, vile person, you're gonna probably think of the guy whose name starts with an H. Right?
Yeah, I mean that's the guy that's propped up as the boogeyman, the global boogeyman.
And I did a book and I did a video about why they were burning the books. And so, I had it coming, I guess, because I talked about the book burnings and what type
but even still, sub, even if you had it coming, their normal procedure is to warn you. So this is what I'm saying. It's something different to allow you to post something and then just snatch your account down. So
they gave me a video. I'm gonna tell you now. The reason they cited was spamming, which they were saying spamming is like, I give you a title of a video, and then when they go to the video, it's not what the title says, which is a lie. I never did that.
Okay.
Right. And so I'm like, I didn't do that. And I'm talking about in like 30 seconds, I got an email back. We reviewed your account. The finding stands that your account, like, you know what, bump it. I'm not finna beg y'all. I'm not finna go and just, run interference trying to beg y'all to get my channel back. I'm just gonna, bump it. I'll just go start another channel. Yeah, it's frustrating. Yeah, a lot of people don't know where I'm at. But it is what it is. I think this is just a personal opinion of mine. I feel like a lot of times when stuff happens, man, I personally, and I told you this on the phone, I personally feel as though it's best as individuals for us to step back and look at this from a spiritual perspective. This is warfare. I know you talk about that.
Yeah.
And so this is spiritual warfare. And I noticed my last video, I was saying, I feel like it's been a lot of spiritual warfare. I've been praying, me and my wife, we have, we do Bible study more consistently with my family, more prayer, more talking about, and I just felt like things. So a lot of times when stuff happens, you have to step back and say, okay, God, what's going on? And so that really took the sting away, because I was angry because I knew it was somebody that just made up a reason. But at the same time, once that sting went away and I started really, I prayed about it and I just really looked at it. I was like, look, man, I had a lot of videos where I was cursing and acting crazy. Yeah, I don't say crazy, but just, videos I'm not proud of. So I said, you know what? It's okay. I'll start over. I'll do better with my language because I was already convicted about it anyway. So I just start over and it's cool. God humbled me because it's not them. I mean, it is, but it isn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can look at it like, oh, they just, oh, these people, they just hate me. They just this. I'm not finna get caught up in that. I'm not finna get pulled into that narrative.
You're not gonna make it personal.
Nah, because at the end of the day, this person, they took my account down because they, I always go to this article and I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep calling out evil. That's just how I am. I'm gonna call out evil on my channel. So I got this channel here, Sub-03639 again, right? This is my third channel, right? I started calling You Heard Me the third time. You heard me the second time, right? That's what I was about to call it. But, like, at the end of the day, I got this channel and I'm gonna call out evil, but I'm just, like, it's like one of my favorite articles to go to is an article where I talk about the Frankfurt School and I talk about these guys and their mentality and how they look at things. And when you look in the devil in the face, you're really doing warfare. So you think he's just gonna let you get away with it? One of the quotes from my favorite article that I love to quote, it says, guns are more powerful than ideas. I'm sorry. Ideas are more powerful than guns. We wouldn't let our enemy have guns. Why would we let them have ideas? Right? It's called repressive tolerance. So if you give someone an idea, this is why they, part of the reason I feel like Charlie Kirk was shot for whatever reason, because I don't take the official narrative, but at the same time, for whatever reason he was shot, it was because of ideas. The evil, a lot of times, evil wants to take because you got to understand, and we got to talk about this Tennessee State stuff. But
yeah, I got it ready to go.
If you look at it, evil a lot of times does not want to give you a chance to talk. It does not want to give you a chance to discuss or Because if you get a chance to reason with someone, you know what I'm saying, then it makes sense. This is why you don't see too many people get a chance to tell why they disagree with the LGBT lifestyle, right? You don't find too many people. They are shouted down, they are deplatformed, they're called hate. And it's like, well, it's not hate. I just don't want you putting that in front of children. If I got a 5-year-old and he watching cartoons, I should be able to go in the kitchen like my mom used to go in the kitchen. And if I'm watching the Smurfs, she ain't got to worry about nothing sexual being put in front of her child. Whereas today, if a child is watching any, content or doing anything, now you got to watch Curious George. You got to watch the Berenstain Bears, or, they got, now it's the Fairly Odd Parents. You got to watch all that stuff now. What is this? What is that? You can't just turn a blind eye like you. We used to look, in my era, it was Superbook and Flying House and Leo the Lion, right? If you can go look this stuff up. Superbook was a Bible on CBN. Saith, Davy and Goliath, right?
I remember that show.
Yeah, we used to watch. That's what we watched. I loved Superbook. Loved it. It was just the Bible. That's all it was. Just a show about kids traveling in time, going back to the times of the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament. And it was great. And I used to love that show. We used to watch that, and even the regular Saturday morning cartoons, it was just entertainment. Now, if I say something about them going after children like Snoop did or a while ago, they tried to destroy him. He had to come out and apologize.
But I think the problem is this. I got somebody on Instagram cussing me out. But I think the problem is this, is that the Bible says that the truth is actually what sets us free. So the truth is way more powerful than the lie. So when you mentioned earlier about how they have to come and silence the voice, it's because in a room full of lies, the truth is what's going to penetrate. I always say the lies entertain, but the truth convicts. And so when you're on these platforms talking, these people, whoever they are, these entities, beings, people, whatever, people being used by Satan, they know the truth from the lie. And they have to weigh, okay, if I leave this person alone, will this channel blow up? Because their thing is to not let you get what they call like a cult following, to where no matter what happened to you, folks will find you. To me, that's what their goal is, because now we're in the era of, in my opinion, cults, where people are following people more than they're following the content, if that makes sense. And so now they're trying to squash any potential cult leaders. But I'm not saying the cult leader is necessarily a bad leader. I'm just saying they want to squash people that actually have actual followings versus just followers on social media platforms.
Yeah, I feel like if you look at people like Chuck, Chad, they're kind of in the shadows, if you ask me. It's certain people are, you can see like this person is very good at.
Hold on, sub. I'm gonna give you an example right now. Why they do give you an example. So this girl is on my page and she's saying you only have 11 views. She doesn't even understand that's what the machine wants her to think. Like, she thinks she's dissing me, but she can't even conceptualize that they're doing this on purpose. So they're not snatching accounts down and suppressing views and all this stuff for no reason. They're doing it for a reason. And so the goal is to get somebody like this girl right here to think, oh, nobody's listening to him, nobody's watching him, I won't either. Because most people just follow on popularity. They don't actually follow because the person's telling the truth. They look to see who's following this person, so I'm gonna follow them too. The machine knows this. So what they do is they either gonna take your account down and make you start over, or they're gonna suppress your views and numbers, make it like nobody's watching you. But anyway, it's happening in real time with this young lady right here. So go ahead, finish what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing with black people, because I'm assuming she sounds like a sister.
Of course, she black. Come on.
And this is the thing, people. You have to understand, when it comes to conservatism, I've done a bunch of content. I mean, I've done thousands of videos. It's crazy. I'm just not getting back started. I'm down to 32 subscribers. That's crazy. But you know, I'm thankful for the 32 that's still cool with me, man. They subscribed. They ain't even put no before I even put a video up. So just because I did a video on Rumble and people saw it and they jumped back over there. So, but the thing is, I think black people have made a pact with the devil. I really do. I think.
Hold on, sub. Y'all heard what he just said. Hold on, y'all. Now listen now. Y'all heard what Sub just said. He just said he believes that black folks made a pact with the devil. Now I'm going to ask Sub-Zero, what made him say that? Sir, could you explain why you would say that, please?
Okay. There's a book called The Devil in Karl Marx, right? And Karl Marx, if you are familiar with communism and so not communism, Marxism, if you're familiar with it, it is basically in so many words, it is to me devil worship. It's and I know a Marxist wouldn't say that, but to me, any Marxist is a person that believes that the government is the end all be all of everything, right? And if you look at that mentality, and I was watching a video with Jason Wilson. He was on Cam Newton about 8 days ago, right? And Jason Wilson, the guy, Cave of Abdullah, out of he's a martial arts guy out of Detroit, right? I really like his content. But he kept talking about
what's his name?
Jason Wilson. He's you probably seen him before. He does martial arts, but it's kind of he's a Christian, but he does martial arts. He got this beard. You kind of seen him before. But he was talking to Cam Newton. He kept talking about, well, black people, it's the trauma that black people have is a holdover from slavery, and they told a big black buck to go into the slave quarters, this and that. And I'm like, that's just not true. I'm not saying that they didn't do that. But what I'm saying is, if you just look at the history of black people, when we got out of slavery, right? You just got to know our history. There's a guy by the name of E. Franklin Fraser who is a sociologist. He wrote a book in 1939 about black people. He made a lot of observations about black people. He said that they were industrious, hardworking. He said they passed down values about self-reliance. He said that black people, the family and the church are the cornerstones of strength in the black community. Some stuff. This is just.
Hold on. His name is Arthur. His name is Franklin Fraser.
Franklin Fraser. And
what was the first letter?
E, as in electric.
I got you.
And if you look at what E. Franklin Fraser looks at and what he talks about how the church was the centerpiece of the black community. Black crime. He took all these statistics. Crime in the black community was lower than in the white community. You had Italians. You had what is it? Did Charlie Kirk make a pact with the devil? Did Candace Owens make a pact with the devil? Okay, we'll get to that. That's light work. We'll get to that. But this is the thing. And so you had this situation where it was Italians, Polish, and Irish had higher crime rates. In fact, if you look at the FBI, just look at the FBI task force going after, Meyer Lansky and they never went at Meyer Lansky. What's the other guy? John Dillinger, all these different guys.
John got it, right? They went after a lot of mob figures. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So they were going after all these guys, and crime in the black community was relatively lower, and the birth rate was most of our kids were born in wedlock. We had a higher birth rate than white people. this is
well, sir. Can we also say this, though? Can we say that black crime was probably lower, but it also wasn't crime that was, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, like organized crime, where like these are like quote unquote outfits, organized crime reaching across the country. You know what I'm saying? Like with the Italians and I guess other groups where they had.
Yeah, we weren't organized like
that. Yeah, like large criminal networks. Yes.
Yeah, we didn't have that. We weren't organized, but we're not organized today for real. But the point I'm trying to make is the black community, this whole myth that slavery is the reason why. No. When the 60s came around, a lot of people, and there's this video, I think it's still on my Rumble, but if you go over there was a video I reacted to about a couple of weeks ago where this guy was in the 60s and he was on a show, because back then people would have real conversations, and it was these young teenagers, they was all mad about racism, and this black pastor was up there he was really
Yeah,
preaching.
I saw that video. I'm looking for that video. I can't find it.
Yeah, and so the pastor was trying to preach and telling them stuff, and they was just like,
yeah,
oh, you the sucker, you the, and all that.
You the sellout. Yeah.
And it just, to me, if you look at it, and when I say make a pact with the devil, one thing about the devil, he masquerades as an angel of light, right? The Bible says that man has a way that seems right unto him, but the end thereof leads to destruction, right? Yeah. And so when I say make a pact with the devil, it's not going to be he going to come up there with horns and a pitchfork. He's going to tell you that this is not right and you should do X. This is what's best for you. And it could be, Marxism. So I'm going to tell you why I think you made a pact with the devil, because what does it mean? What's a symbol? If I see a black person and I don't speak to them, I don't say one word, but I look at them and I want to let them know that I'm with them, what would I do?
Talking about the head nod? What you mean?
No. Well, that's one thing. That is true. That's universal. But just you will hold up a fist.
Oh yeah, put the communist fist up.
But see, most black folks, they think it just means black. They don't know that's forgotten. They think that just it's synonymous with being black now. So communism, think about what you just said, the communist fist. You more informed than the average brother. Most brothers gonna be like, yeah, that's just the black soul fist.
It's black pride. Yeah, black pride.
It's the proletariat. It represents the proletariat, and you're pushing for what is it? A communist revolution.
They ain't gonna say that, sir. They're gonna say black power, black pride. They're not gonna say that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they
don't even go past just the symbol. They don't trust me. They're not proletariat, all that. They trust me. They clueless.
And that's the thing. I think when you look at it, that's what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's basically black people decided that to be synonymous with black, they've aligned themselves with Marxists. And when you align yourself with Marxists, what is Marxism? It's basically anti-church, anti-God.
Yes.
The church is the opiate of religion, the opiate of the masses. It stops you. It basically pacifies you from rising up for revolution. So we need to stop you from doing that. One of the other tenets of Marxism is materialism. It's the only thing that matters is what you can see, feel, and touch. It's not, it's not about, there is no spiritual. There is no spiritual realm. And so and if you listen to a lot of people like James Cone and those pastors and stuff, a lot of pastors help bring this stuff in. It wasn't like that. That's why I brought up E. Franklin Frazier. That was not the black community. I forget that pastor's name that was real respected. And King started the Southern Christian Leadership Conference to try to.
Talking about Joseph H. Jackson?
Yeah, Joseph H. Jackson. Exactly. Respected. That was more people rock with him back. We don't even know who that is. A lot of us don't know who he is. We never heard of him. He's not a respected guy. Today, we don't know in history, Black History Month, King. And so at the end of the day, when I say you made a pact with the devil, that back to that question, did Charlie Kirk make a pact with the devil? I can show you clips of Charlie Kirk telling black people to have. So let's follow that logic. Charlie Kirk telling black women to have babies, that they can be housewives. They need to be thinking about, instead of trying to be a boss, whatever, or trying to run, trying to compete with men, why not be a housewife? I've seen videos of him telling black women that. If I hate black people, wouldn't I want to tell black people the opposite? No. Your women need to go get in the workforce. Your men ain't hitting on nothing, right? That's what you would tell. Everything that you would tell black people to destroy them is what, I'm just being honest, what we vote for and support. That's what we support. If I want to destroy you, I'm going to tell you to tell your little boys to cut their penises off so they'll never be able to reproduce, and give them gender affirming care. I'm gonna cut your daughter's breast off. gonna put your sons in dresses, right? I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
your women that they can compete with men, right? I'm gonna tell your women, hey, if you get pregnant, hey, go and end the pregnancy because hey, it's about you. You know, I'm gonna tell your women that sex and sexual liberation is a good thing, and you need to be a freak and you need to be able to do what you want to do because it's all about your happiness. That's what I'm gonna tell them.
Hold on. So help us contextualize this. So what would make a black person celebrate Kamala Harris saying have an abortion, let your children be trans, but then hate Charlie Kirk saying have a family? What would make them celebrate one and condemn the other?
A pact with the devil. You know, I think look, man, I've never seen anything like this. Black people are have destroyed themselves. I think if you we all know the story of acting white. What is it? Respect. One of my favorite, respectability politics, right? Oh, it's respectability politics. What you mean? Like speaking proper English? Hey man, maybe if you pull your pants off your butt, comb your hair, carry yourself, smile, carry yourself a certain way. Oh, you a coon. You are Uncle Tom. You telling me? No, it's just life. It has nothing to do with that. Just if you get more bees with honey, if you don't seem intimidating, if you don't seem, then you'll wind up being more palatable for more people in society. That's just why. How is it helping you going throughout life looking like and acting like a thug or being a street guy, as we like to say, street nigga? Like, how's that going to help you to, empower you? If anything, you turn people off. Me saying that is respectability politics. So they're basically saying, don't tell the black man you ain't got to do nothing. You have nothing to do. If I say, hey, maybe you should close your legs and stop having babies out of wedlock. Maybe you should, that is respectability politics. When black people come to politics, what do we say? What are the main priorities? Prison reform and police reform. Why? We care about the dusties that done messed our neighborhoods up, and we care about the dusties that's out here messing up our neighborhoods so that they don't get picked on by the police. Now, I can show you, I can literally share screen right now. I'm from Montgomery, Alabama, born and raised, right? Last weekend, they had 5 murders. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. 5 murders in a city that's like 70% black. Black people are killing at an alarming rate in Montgomery. It's mostly black. The white man ain't coming into that community making them do anything. You know what I'm saying?
So hold on, sub, just to hold that thought. I really want to get into this psychology. So Charlie, I'm trying to just make this contextualize this.
Yeah, because I see guess who the reluctant YouTuber is.
So
they want to play crazy games.
Well, I mean, he makes videos about me all the time, all that kind of stuff. So he
does. Hater. Okay.
But it's funny that so he supports the Democratic Party, he supports Kamala and all them. So I'm trying to understand, how is he saying that the Democratic Party didn't make a deal with the devil, and they're literally telling you to do everything that Satan would do? Because Satan would say, don't get married, have children out of wedlock, have an abortion, turn your kid. Like, these are things that Satan would say. I'm just trying to figure out, how is he saying that that's good, and Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens saying get married and have a family is bad? Like, I don't even see the.
I don't think, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think most black people are educated. You are the tool of the devil. You are a tool in the box, not of the devil. I can name exactly, but then I don't want to get this video messed up and go into start naming names. You are a tool sitting in a toolbox. You are used.
Why can't you name people? Why can't you name people's names? I want to ask you.
We can't do that because I already got my channel taken down. And I don't want to go down that road. I
wanted to ask you about somebody I've been hearing about for the past couple of weeks. A guy named Leo Frank.
Oh Lord.
No, I'm asking because I did a video on the ADL, and then because they were saying stuff that I just didn't agree with. It was horrific what they were saying, but I didn't know the ADL was like it was until I actually heard the CEO speak and I saw what they were doing. I was like, wait, this is crazy. And so I would hear the ADL, but not know what the ADL actually was, Anti-Defamation League. I thought they were more of kind of a neutral entity, but come to find out they're not. So, but folks keep telling me about Leo Frank, and I was like, well, who is the guy? And they keep saying that it was created to, I guess, protect this guy. Is that true?
Yeah. So from what I know, the guy was caught in the act of unaliving a young girl. I think it happened here in Georgia. He owned a factory. He was well-to-do, actually. And he went to trial, and there was a black guy that testified. Black guy caught him. Now, you talking about the early 1900s. I don't know the exact year.
So this black guy risked his life.
Yeah, the black guy caught him. Back then, we talking about Georgia. So, but he got caught, got found, convicted, and he was pardoned.
How old was the girl? How old was the girl?
I can't remember. I think she was like a teenager. I don't know her exact age.
People are saying she was 12.
Yeah, she was young. I know that much.
And he tried to blame a black man.
Well, yeah, that's what he was trying to say something about him. And so when he got found guilty, but see, they had so much, they being his people, had so much money and power, they were able to get the then governor, to suspend, basically got him out or something, like some kind of way. He either got out or I think he got out. He got pardoned. And back then the dudes was like, look, man, we finna handle this. So they the men got out there with torches and guns. They like, come on out here, and they strung him up and lynched him. And when they lynched him, that's what ADL came about. Like, we got to stop this. And that's also, you got the Niagara movement. That's the NAACP. Listen, I think what you guys are doing with cutting through the culture, when Chad is talking about communist, Marxist agitators coming into the black community and doing things, that's why I say tool, because I'm like, right now I'm looking at this article I love. It says the social movements of the 1960s, Black power, feminism, gay rights, sexual liberation gave Marcuse a unique vehicle to release cultural Marxist ideas into the mainstream, railing against everything establishment. The Frankfurt School's ideas caught on and spread across American universities. So, these people, a certain idea and mindset came, and it's a lot of Marxist agitators. Not all these people are not all of them are connected, right? We all know that. So I'm not saying all, right? I know that pisses some people off, but I'm not saying all. If you see one of these people on the street, don't just, you're an idiot if you do that. Obviously, you have to be more nuanced, but there's an oligarchy of people that control certain things, and black people are there too. I mean, these guys basically, let me see if I can find it. There was
hold on, but listen, we can agree. Now, we can agree that black people are being used, and not just being used, but black people have been the staple for dysfunction in this country for quite some time. And so we know that who's ever behind this, they do have power, and they are politically, socially, economically charging black people to do this. This is what it is. And so when you mentioned,
you see it with Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like Black Lives Matter started, and it's funny, there was a guy in Southern California. He actually started the first Black Lives Matter, and he started it because his wife's ex-husband had gotten killed by the police. And so basically his Black Lives Matter movement was building a relationship between the police and the community. That was his Black Lives Matter. A couple of years later, Trayvon Martin happens, and then you have Black Lives Matter Global Network. Obviously, it's a communist organization, Marxist organization, but the global network part was the kicker, because now you see this global communist push, And it's really not started by black people, but in the modern era, that was probably the most popular communist movement that we've seen, to where it was just in our media, sports. If you think about Black Lives Matter, it took over everything. You saw Black Lives Matter everywhere and everything. Most had undeniable support globally, like it was crazy. And so we saw a successful movement in our lifetime of Black Lives Matter. And so when you mentioned that Black folks made a deal with the devil, clearly there's a deal that's been made, especially what we see now.
Guess who the reluctant? No, they didn't make a pact with the devil. They did not make a pact with the devil. I'm gonna show you a pact with the devil. You mind if I share screen, brother?
Yeah, go ahead. If I can.
So I'm gonna show how. and this is the thing, whenever you show this stuff, a lot of people they just ignore it and keep talking, right? So I'm gonna go down here. So this is Angela Davis with a guy by the name of Herbert Marcuse. Angela Davis, I'm sure she's probably one of your heroes. But as you get down here, this is talking about the Frankfurt School, right? Important to understand how these theories and the Frankfurt School affect Black America. In the late 1960s, Marcuse would publish one of his most influential essays called On Liberation. That inspired radical groups from the Students for Democratic Society to the Weathermen to Black Panthers. In On Liberation, Marcuse lays out the communist idea of using the inner city Black Americans as the frontline troops of a guerrilla revolutionary overthrow of the United States. He called them the most elemental, the most immediate force of rebellion. And he wrote, the ghetto population of the United States constitutes such a force confined to small areas of living and dying. It can be more easily organized and directed, moreover located in course. Like, you got to understand when folks just using you and making an ass out you. You just have to understand that. And the argument that Candace Owens made a pact with the devil, you make a pact with the devil when let me go up top. This is the thing. A lot of Black people don't understand, because a lot of times don't have families themselves. They've never been married. They don't have no kids. So they don't understand a lot of times when you're talking to people that don't really have any skin in the game, don't have an investment, and they get to sit out there and talk about politics. And this is the Frankfurt School, right? These are a group of people that came over to America. They talking about they wanted the Bolshevik Revolution. It was believed the workers' revolution would sweep into Europe and eventually into the United States. If you know what the Bolshevik Revolution was, basically a killing of a bunch of Christians, right? But look at what they proposed. This guy, George Lukács and VV, shout out to the homie Chuck, because I was saying Willie, right? But anyway, this guy, VV Munzenberg, proposed the solution was to organize the intellectuals to use them to make Western civilization stink. Only then, after having corrupted all its values and made life impossible, can we impose the dictatorship of the what? Proletariat, that fist that Black people hold up. I just read where they want to use you. So you're being used. You've been brainwashed and used. I just talked about E. Franklin Frazier and how we were basically a model group of people that had lower crime, higher birth rates, higher marriages, all this different stuff. And these people come along, and next thing you know, your community stink, and you get mad at people like me. I'm the coon for reading this now. This, you got to understand, all right? Me and you the coons, brother. We the coons for talking about this.
So let me ask you a question. So now you're reading this, and you're reading the historical intentionality of using Black people to, start this quote unquote revolution in America. But my question is, what made Black people so appealing? Like, so Because you're telling me on one hand, Black people were like the model community, right? But then on the other hand, you're saying that these nefarious people say, you know what, we can use that group.
Well, this is where me and you might disagree a little bit. I feel like because of Jim Crow, because at a federal, state, and local level, the government had discriminated, had done things to the Black community. This was something, and the Russians wrote about this, the Soviets, as we called them back then, they wrote about being able to take advantage of this weak point. And I saw somebody in the comments to my Yuri Bezmenov. So they see a group of people, and a good example, one of the heroes we've been hearing people talk about, Paul Robeson.
Yeah.
Very respected, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a hero to a lot of Black people. Well, Paul Robeson was in Russia and saw his friends thrown in the gulags and had to be smuggled out of Russia. Yet he came back to America and kept, installing the virtues of communism. That's who he is. These are, so you got these group of people coming in with ideals. They dangle money, resources, and these people come from one little small group of people that make up 1% of the population. Take a wild guess, right? But these people came into the community and they pushed a certain narrative of, which is, and you see them, you can see them always coming into the community using Black people. Good example,
Okay,
right here. So right here, he said the original they created critical theory. Critical theory, Black people think that means Black history. Right. Critical theory means the destruction of all traditional values. But Black people, we think that means they don't want to teach our history. See what I'm saying? Go ahead.
So there was a guy that what's his name? He did Black History Week.
Carter G. Woodson.
Carter G. Woodson he talked about in his book about how the Negro not being able to succeed in America was a foreign concept. Right? He said it was foreign. So my question is, even if we say Jim Crow, segregation, all these things, it still was a foreign concept for Black folks to not be able to persevere, is what I'm saying. So my question,
I think if I'm an outside agitator, right?
Yeah.
Let's say me and you say we're gonna do a deal, and I tell you you're gonna get 30%. You agree to it. You're gonna get 30%. I'm fronting the money. You doing the work. Right? And you say, hey, I ain't got no money, but I'm content with that 30%. Because this actually happened to me. I was getting 50% off a deal, and the guy was doing the work, and it was this Black guy, and he got mad because he saw that guy doing all the work. I guess he felt like I should have been doing it with him. Man, that boy, he making a fool out of you. Next thing you know, the dude mad at me because the guy done got him agitated. What communist agitators were able to do is come in and take advantage. They just sold dissent. They didn't have to, because look, and this is, like I said, I'm a reparations guy. I mean, I know people, I'm not your average conservative, right? I still believe that a case can be made that if you take me and throw me under a bridge, right, and I'm struggling and I'm financially stripped of an opportunity, right, and I'm struggling, if you come back 10 years from now and I'm still doing fine because I dug my way out the hole, it doesn't change the fact that you messed me up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just like we have to pay for the so-called mythological event that happened during World War II, right? I think it's only right that, that be changed, especially when you look at the Jim Crow. I always said reparations is not based on slavery. Can't be. Can't base it on slavery. If I were going to base reparations on anything, it would be based on what happened from the Freedmen's Bank moving forward. When okay, you know what's his name? Jackson took the Union Army out of Atlanta, took them out the South. What happened from that point forward? What did they do? And from there, you did enough to where agitators can come in, and now the mind is gone. But this is a new occurrence. It's a new occurrence. If you look at Black people, there were some negatives. I'm not saying they were angels, but just being a kid, right? I'll just give you a good example. I'm from Alabama. My dad was in construction. I would go to a construction site. We talking about in the mid 80s. it would be all black men with their kids, their sons, working on bricks, working on framing, laying shingles, doing electrical, doing plumbing. It was all black men. It was brothers, uncles. I'm from Montgomery, so it's all black men doing the work, right? 70% black people. Well, my cousin's still working construction. I talked to him a while ago. It's all Mexican. So this generation now it's forgotten. They don't even know that they used to. I'm like, bro, y'all used to dominate construction.
Yeah.
In Montgomery, I mean, I don't know about in Texas but in the South and like states like Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, man, that was all black folks. Those black men dominating that. It was.
But so I got a hypothetical scenario. Say black folks got reparations and nothing changed, right? What would that prove?
Well, I don't think reparations. I don't think. First of all, let me say this: this is an exercise in futility. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you, black folks ain't gonna ever get reparations. I don't think so. Let's look at Tariq Nasheed and Jason Black, right? They right here celebrating because somebody mentioned it in California one time. They think that means they getting some leeway, right? The problem is they don't even understand how to engage politics. You got people like Dr. Claude Anderson was on the Breakfast Club back in 2020 during the election, like a month before the election. He went on the Breakfast Club and said Jared Kushner was blowing his phone up. He wasn't even taking his phone calls. So that it'll never happen. If you can't, negotiate with both sides, you're never going to raise any political capital to be able to even try to mount a case for it. That's number one. Because any person that even talks to the other side is cursed out. Think about what they'll do to any black person that talks to Trump.
Oh, it's over.
So how you gonna ever raise any type of? So that's number one. Number two, it can't be financial. You can't just give them checks because the mind is gone. Their minds are gone. I'm just being straight up. They don't. I know this is gonna sound real bad. I don't think we have the financial literacy. I mean, is it for all of us? No, I think a lot of us will probably be okay, but the overwhelming majority, that money would cycle and be right in the hands of that 1%. It'll just make them wealthy. That's what it'll do because they don't have the brain. I'm sorry, they just don't have the infrastructure. You can't just throw money at black folks. You can't. You have to change. First, you got to deal with certain areas of their life first. And so I wouldn't even do that. It would be something along the lines of I wouldn't even call it reparations. I'd just say, hey, descendants of slaves get a loan, get a business loan, or descendants of slaves get whatever. Just to be a little program. That's all it'll be. It wouldn't be nothing.
But I think you still run into a problem when they say you got to prove you was a slave, though.
I don't think so. I think we know who black people are. Like
I know
my great grandfather's name. I know where he was born. I know my great grandfather's name. Obviously,
no. I'm not saying that you don't. I'm saying that the task is going to be for somebody doing due diligence to actually prove they were a slave, and not just showing up and say because I'm black I deserve the money. I'm saying it would be I don't think it's far-fetched for it to happen. Like California was proposing, $250,000 for a down payment on a home or something like that. Like they were proposing that it's actually, it wasn't like far-fetched to do. The study was proposing wasn't far-fetched. I'm saying though, when it comes down to proving who was actually a slave, everybody that qualifies ain't gonna be black. Because that's not how genetics work. So you'll trace people back. You'll be like, wait a minute, your great grandfather was such and such. So you'll see people that's not quote unquote black qualifying reparations. Then what you gonna say?
Well, I don't think I would qualify it like that. I would qualify it based on just genetic. For example, like
just
I know
saying that you're black and you get reparations.
Well, I can. What I'm saying is I can prove genetic records. Like this is provable. Like if we went on to ancestry.com right now, I don't know your history. I'll ask you a couple of questions. Who was your grandmama? Where was we know when she died or if she's still living, where she from? Did you ever your mom? You ask questions, next thing you know, okay, got that. I can go and find public records of her mom, her dad, that person's mom, that person's dad. It's not really hard. And I've already taken a DNA.
I'm not, yes, but sub, you missing my point. I'm not saying it's not difficult to do. I'm saying the actual doing it part is what I'm trying to tell you. The actual doing it part is going to be the problem. It ain't going to be the fact that it's doable. We got a family book in my family right now, my grandfather's side. Go back to the 1700s. Like, it's doable. Are they going to do it?
Well, if they don't do it, that's on them.
I'm just...
Because black folks don't like paperwork. A good example.
Thank you. That's my point.
I'm from Montgomery. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm from Montgomery, right? Montgomery is the Armed Forces tech hub, right? A lot of people don't know that, right? So my brother got it hooked up with this guy, black dude. Dude is worth like $100 and something million. He got his own private plane and all that, right? Don't nobody know who he is. He got a bunch of government contracts. He gave me the lady number. I called the lady. The lady said, yeah, I'll be wanting to help. This is a black lady in Washington, D.C. I don't know if she still got a job, but she was telling me like a lot of black people never had a paperwork. She said, I got plenty of money I can give. I could throw contracts at people. This is the lady that awards contracts. But it's so many. Now, I ain't going to lie. Now, getting contracts is a lot of T's and, I's you have to dot and T's you have to cross. But once you get that paperwork done and everything's legitimate, you can walk in there and qualify for a lot. You used to could. I don't know about now. But she just told me, man, black folks don't like paperwork. So it can't be something like that. But what I'm saying is I'm from Montgomery. I know for a fact, just about everybody from Montgomery was a big slave hub.
Yeah.
Just about everybody from Montgomery are descendants of slaves. It just was, man. It just, we go down, Montgomery has a river. The Alabama River runs right through downtown Montgomery, right? If you go down there, they got like little markers and stuff. There are houses that were slave plantations, and they got these little markers out in front, Alabama history markers, and you can read it. Alabama, and as a kid, they teach you this stuff because you take Alabama history in the 4th grade. So you learn about the history of Hernando de Soto and how he's the Spanish guy that came through and all that. I learned all that in the 4th grade. And I learned about Montgomery being a market. And that's how the Lehman Brothers got their start, actually. They started.
Hold on 1 second. PB, he said that reparations wouldn't be based on slavery. It would be based on, I guess, Jim Crow, the black codes, I guess Reconstruction, I guess the periods after slavery. He's talking about reparations.
Also, Fannie Mae and Freddie, when it first came out, expressed in writing they wouldn't give loans to blacks.
Okay, so he's talking after slavery, post slavery.
Yeah. I'm put it like this. I don't care, man. Yeah, you ain't got to give me nothing. I know people when people get in a tizzy when you say stuff like this. I don't care. It's not like I'm gonna go petition the government to get part. We're not gonna get it because black people are not organized. I'm just saying, can you make a case? I think you can. I think if Blanche, I don't know if you ain't got no kids, right? So no. Let's say you had some kids, right? Let's say you're doing real estate here in Atlanta, right? I do you dirty, take all your property and run you out of town. I take all your property through eminent domain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this actually happened. If you look at the Tulsa riots, and I'm not, just hear me out. So there's a guy by the name of John the Baptist Stratford. You ever heard of him? J.B. Stratford. John the Baptist Stratford was like the owner of the largest black-owned hotel in the world. It was based in Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? When the Tulsa riots happened, he wound up going. He had to leave town. He was a friend of Ida B. Wells. He went to Chicago broke with just the clothes on his back. He's the grandfather of this guy who's running one of the companies that's on the BE 100. His grandson is very successful, worth like hundreds of millions of dollars. He runs an investment firm. But this guy lost everything he had. See what I'm saying? Because he was called, they tried to blame him for the starting of the riots.
Yeah.
It was going to try to blame him.
So who was the guy that was like a writer? I know it was a guy that was writing some if I can vaguely remember during that. Was he the guy that was writing the articles?
No. Ada B. Wells is the woman I know that would be. Now it might have been some guy, but
No,
what I'm saying is he got
there
ran
was
out of
a
town,
yeah,
and they took his
there was
property.
a guy though. There was a guy writing. Okay, so again, I'll just say this, right? I think anybody can make a claim that they were done wrong. I think that anybody can make a claim and say we were done wrong in this instance. We deserve some, I guess, quote unquote, repair. I think the problem is that I see is that reparations has been given out. So now everybody, quote unquote, deserves it. If they never did it for anybody, we don't have a discussion. But the fact that people have gotten reparations, now that it entitles everybody to get reparations, it does. So I don't
The
agree.
opposite of the opposing side of reparations would be here come the floodgates, right? I
Yeah,
just think there's a
but that's
difference.
what. But guess what though? That's what happens though. So again, I don't agree reparations for anybody. I don't personally. I don't agree reparations for anybody. But when you've already given it out, though, like you can't really justify not continue giving it out. I'm sorry, you should have never started in the first place.
Well,
And
yeah, but I think it's not as strong a case for any other group than black people, because black people. This is the thing you got to look at, right? Black people's mindset and mentality is because of that. If let's imagine for a second, if black people were left alone after slavery, we didn't do Jim Crow, we didn't do the black codes, we didn't tear down and destroy the Freedmen's Bank, we didn't say, oh, we won't give loans to black people with Fannie Mae and Freddie, we didn't do all the other things. You got the red. I'm not angry about this stuff. I'm a conservative, right? But if you look at the Red Summer, 1919, 40 riots, I remember my granddad told my dad, this was way back, and I used to hear stuff you just think, whatever. My granddad said when he was a kid, they tried to burn down all the black businesses, and they was trying to destroy. They burned down some banks. They burned down, black people was trying to have. This was back when I was a kid.
yeah,
I get up as an adult and I see the summer of 1919. And my granddad was born in like 1907. So I said, oh, wait a minute. So this, and I was like, he said that it actually happened. I didn't know about the summer of 1919. Then when I saw that map, I said, wait a minute, he was right. So you can make that case, but the opposite. Look, I don't want to go down reparations because it gets people emotional. And like I said, black people are not organized. Black people are stupid politically. They just are. They're not. I'm not saying stupid all around, but when it comes to politics, we shoot ourselves in the foot. We don't organize, and we're gonna suffer. And I always say we deserve to suffer. That's what I say. So I don't even like talking about reparations because it's just a mental gymnastics for nothing.
but I actually think that they could possibly do it. It's just if they do it, it ain't going. I don't know. They're probably gonna try to do it, and then the next day the market everything gonna crash. But anyway, I wanted to.
You mind if I read Tierra Barnes' comment? She said, "Black people need to turn to Jesus and stop sending money, and reparations are not the solution." I agree 1,000%. We do have a heart problem in the black community. That I agree with. They have a heart problem. You don't need reparations. You wouldn't even know what white supremacy means if you change. If we started having high birth rates again, high in wedlock birth rates. If we crime just dropped because people just have integrity like they used to have back in the day.
But also think about this, right? Just before we get off of this reparations thing, during the Biden administration, trillions of dollars were spent for illegal immigrants, combined total for those 4 years. So black people had an opportunity during Biden's administration to make the strongest claim in history for reparations. They actually had a case to make to say these people aren't even citizens and they're getting all of this stuff. And during that time period, what did Black folks spend that time doing in their 4 years?
Nothing.
And that, so even when you had the best argument to make for reparations, and I actually said, now was y'all chance. I say now was you all's chance to say we want it because y'all clearly have the money to do it. You are showing the world that y'all can afford to do it. But the fact that Black folks did not come together,
it ain't that. Hey, let's look at what PPP loans did for Black folks. They do nothing. You know how much scam? We live in Atlanta. You and I both know a bunch of folks that got them PPP loans. What it do for them? I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. What happened with it? Right? And I see a couple of comments. We deserve to suffer. That's a house Negro. Guess who is this? Guess who the reluctant YouTuber. Let me explain something. Black people are house niggas, not me. Because me and Blanche, we're the ones arguing for independence, freedom, and eat what you kill. Democrats, most of the niggas that's out here saying they want something from the tit of the government, you are the real house niggas. Okay? You are. You're the ones that always want to go to daddy government to get something. I'm telling you, cut Section 8 welfare and food stamps and start creating families, and I'm the house nigga. I said you deserve to suffer. You deserve to suffer because you don't think. You lack critical thinking skills. And another brother down here said, Black people have been turning to Jesus for centuries. Well, in the 1950s, when the Black church, like when E. Franklin wrote his book, right? We're going to talk about 1939. In the 1939, and I'm sure in the 1950s, Black's economy, our economy per capita, was stronger than it is today. Black men left the church. So
hold on, we gotta say, hold on.
So I mean, you can't just say that like, oh, we've been doing it. No, you ain't. Like, Black men don't go to church. Let's not lie. Let's not make lies up, man. Come on. Black men are not in church. Let's not. And I hate to say this, but I don't want to drag brothers, but come on, man. Most brothers I know right now tell you in a minute, oh man, I'm spiritual, but I don't believe in organized religion. I'm spiritual, but I don't have no. Yeah, come on. You have no code. How many of y'all actually in church and read the Bible? How many do that? Right? Because it's one thing to go to church. It's another thing. Do you read or do you just clap for good singing? Stop it. Stop it. Back in when E. Franklin Fraser wrote that when he wrote, I'm sorry, bro.
Go ahead.
When E. Franklin Fraser wrote what he wrote in 1939, he was talking about the strength of the church. Educate yourself. You putting laughing emojis up. Educate yourself. Educate yourself, bro. I can read it to you if you want. He wrote a book talking about it.
What I find ironic, and Nikki just said it, Joe Biden got on the Breakfast Club out of all places and said, if you don't know who to vote for between me or Donald Trump, you ain't Black. And in my naive mind, I said, there's no way Black folks going to vote for him after that. I said it sealed his fate. I said that was the comment that was going to seal his fate. I went on Facebook and Black folks, all I saw Black folks saying he's right. I said, my goodness.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I realized then that we were dealing with something else with Black folks when that Joe Biden election, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah. It was.
Hold on. Speaking of these Black men going, I want to play something real quick, and then we can get into the Black men not going to church. Matter of fact, let me because I had a clip that I wanted to share.
You know what? I got something you might find funny, man. You mind if I show it's only 1 minute and 20 seconds?
Go ahead.
It's just one of my favorite movies from back in the day. I'm gonna just play this, show it, and this scene. This is how Black people are treated by the Democrats right here. This is one of my favorite scenes. You're gonna know as soon as it come up. You remember this about your communities and Oh, you looking out for the Mexicans. Oh, you looking out for. Watch what he tell her.
Beat your feet.
Hey, be learning they biology. You know what I'm saying? PIMPology, baby.
Yeah,
That's
hit that
what it
pavement.
is.
I ain't
Get out
moved
there.
by
I
the.
don't care. I don't care. You get on out there and you get to it. Get work.
Now, oh, shoot. My bad. You still
No,
there?
you good. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, my fault. So I was gonna say that. Now this is what black folks gonna say. Now, black folks on one hand say that Republicans don't fool with them. This is what black folks say. Republicans don't fool with them. But then they'll lie and say Republicans do the same thing. I'm like, no, they don't. I said, Republicans, what do Republicans do like the Democrats? Tell me. Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. They don't bother y'all.
Actually, I voted for Romney. My thing was always getting the government to get out of my way. Yeah. I believe in myself. I believe in the talents and the gifts and abilities that God gave me. I don't need the government, and I'll be safe. I'll be good. I don't necessarily need them to look out for me and hold me down and provide. I just need you to get out the way. What am I talking about? Getting rid of Section 8 welfare and food stamps. What would that do? Well, a woman, you in the projects, you can't open them legs for a dude. He got a job. So now we're going back to that. Do you have a job? Can you pay some bills? Well, I can't be up here laying up with you. I need a man that can pay some bills, which guess what? A lot of dudes going to have to get up off their butt, stop trying to sell weed. They're going to go out there and get a real job. And these are, you know what's funny? I sound just like Farrakhan. That's what's really sad though. Like when you really think about it, like it's not about we the coons, but so is Farrakhan one? Because I'm saying the same thing he said. I'm saying the same thing Malcolm X said. We was just talking about that earlier, right?
Yeah.
No, I was talking to that with my homeboy Sir Trey. But we was talking about, that we were talking about getting people back to where we were in the 50s. Not Jim Crow, but just in the sense of the black man and the black woman needing each other, right? And being able to, because guess what? Then you will probably, and they say in tough times, people get married, people get in relationships. I mean, these are things that when people are struggling, they start looking and thinking different. That's why I said, when I said suffer, you think I mean, okay, I want to see us destroyed. No, I think pressure creates diamonds. I think it's pacifying someone. And you got to understand politics, man. If you understand Niccolo Machiavelli, right? Niccolo Machiavelli, who wrote a book called The Prince, one of his main principles was to never empower your constituency. Only give them enough where they need you, but never enough where they don't need you. If I give you $4,000 a month and tell you you can't make over $5,000 a month, you're going to make less than $5,000 a month.
Right.
But if I give you $50,000 a month, you ain't going to need me after about a couple of years because you done been and bought some real estate. You're going to own businesses. You're going to be, you know what I'm saying? So Machiavelli, who has statues now, this guy has statues in Washington. That's what politicians are. They call him the father of politics. If you don't know about him, you don't know how the game go. That's why you're ignored, because you're voting for free stuff and I'm voting for freedom. Two different things.
So my question for you is, tell me one thing that black folks asked for they didn't get. Tell me what black folks asked for in America that they didn't get. Everything that black folks asked for, they got it. Yeah. Think about everything that black folks said. We want this. We want that. We want this to pass. We want this. Every time they've asked for something, they've gotten it. So we can't say that America hasn't obliged black people on what they asked for.
I mean, black people asking for prison reform. Now they're not asking for economics. They're asking for prison and police reform. Those are two things they want.
So to me, there's a track record of them getting what they want, but the question is, what are they asking for? And that's the problem. And like you mentioned earlier with leadership, it's going to be hard for black folks to do anything if the men are in positions to lead. What are black people going to do anyway?
Yeah.
Like, and that's just to, black women run a black community. So if you look at politics, church, education, it's all black. The three major factors: church, politics, education, dominated by black women. Dominated.
Yeah.
This man said, "What are y'all asking for? I'm curious." You heard what he said. He said to be left alone.
Freedom, man. Yeah.
To be left alone.
Freedom. If I start a business, I don't want to have to pay. If I'm successful and I make some money, why not lower capital gains? I know you think that's for the rich, and this is the thing, man. I have a confession to make, and I can show HUD-1 statements and all that. I made $600,000 in 2006 flipping houses, right? So for me, 600,000. So yes. So for me,
that's about 2 million back then.
I'm very I understand what it means to, and I'm not trying to say this to brag. I walked in the lawyer's office at 10 o'clock in the morning, signed some papers, bought a property, sold it at 3:30 and made $100,000. Right? So for me, I understand capital gains, short-term capital gains, long-term capital gains. If you lower short-term capital gains, that's the same money you can make profit on flip. Let's say you invest in an option. You buy some options on a stock that runs up, goes on a run. You make $1 million or some short-term capital gains, unless you're going to hold it for a year in the account or however. It's ways you could do stuff. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you can make a significant amount of money if you learn what the rich do, right? It's like getting in the ocean and trying to go at the apex predator that is the orca, right? The killer whale, not the shark.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going at the orca, you're trying to get at him, but when it's all said and done, you would be smart to say, instead of trying to compete with him, I'm gonna do what he does. This is what wealthy, well-to-do black people. So it's different types of mentality. And I'm not trying to say this, if you ain't never been in that tax bracket and understood it, what I say sounds like coonery.
Yeah.
If I say lower capital gains, you trying to help the rich. You get capital gains, you pay capital gains just on a house you flip.
Right.
Or on selling some stock or something. It's for everybody. So if they talk about lowering capital gains to 10%, I'm excited. I'm already excited because I'm like, man, I'm gonna really try to get out here and get it. But see that they think that means, that I want them to get rid of the Second Amendment. Like I just don't see that. I don't want them to get rid of. I didn't say that. I'm very pro-gun, but I'm not for a large. I believe taxation is theft. To be completely honest with you.
Me too. But listen, I had a thought. I forgot my train of thought. Oh, shit, forget it. Let's go to because the guy said that he wanted freedom too, but he support the Democrats. Let's go to the Tennessee State. Oh no, hold on. First, let's go to your boy first.
I'm overwhelmingly concerned about how it is that censorship is afoot in this nation around the freedom of speech. They first silenced Stephen Colbert and then Jimmy Kimmel, and they thought they were going to do it without any consequence. But because of what is taking place, Americans are waking up in realizing that our constitutional rights are being infringed upon.
Do you realize, Sub, that black folks have no idea about shadow banning, accounts getting they have no idea of what's happened in the past 5 years regarding content creators speaking the truth. They're just now seeing censorship. It's been 5 years where, since I've been in the game, 5 years with censorship, but this man is at church, pastor, none but women around, you see, but he's at church talking about free speech being violated. and you just got your account taken down
Yeah.
for telling the truth. He's talking about some people on TV reading scripts, not truth, scripts, script writers, producers, directors. He's talking about them.
Just be on the safe side. I think, honestly, I didn't think Jimmy Kimmel should have lost his job. I don't. I think
No, he didn't. He didn't lose his job. No, listen, I don't think so either. I don't agree with that either. I'm just saying the fact that they were okay when it was happening to this side was my point.
Yeah.
Nobody had a problem with Trump getting off Twitter, but everybody got a problem with Jimmy Kimmel not even getting fired, being set down for a couple of days. I mean, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of crazy that Jamal Bryant was talking about free speech.
I mean, Jamal Bryant, I thought you was finna play what he said about Charlie. I just felt like he's.
Oh no, we already went there.
He's a mess, man. This dude, and I'm gonna be honest, I was in this man's church. Me and this man would go to blows. We wouldn't. I couldn't stay around a man like that. Me and him, it would be a problem. It'd be like oil and water because I know he's a fraud. I look at any man, if I see you in the crowd, I know you with a woman and she done took your penis off and screwed it off and put it in her purse. Yeah. You ain't a man. You're not a man stand up under a dude like this. That's just how I feel about it.
I'm with you, simulated students. Nobody censored Jimmy Kimmel. They took him down and started a stir up just to put him back up. Nobody watched him anyway. And that's why they did it. Nobody watches his show. So nobody watches his show. They made a big deal over nothing. Literally.
I remember all these conservatives was happy. I was like, man, y'all
happy for what?
If you take somebody off the air because it hurts people's feel, I do feel like I'm very open for free speech, right? I really don't. If it was up to me, you would be able to say anything. The problem is,
too.
I mean, within reason, obviously. I mean, certain things as far as protecting kids, but
yeah, not craziness, but your opinion about politics and you should be able to say what you want to say.
You shouldn't be able to say, okay, well, this guy, doesn't believe in the Holocaust, so he should be pushed off into the outskirts of the internet, right? That's crazy.
And I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with Nick Fuentes being censored, and even Alex Jones, anybody, because these social media companies proved that they could be compromised, and they proved that they would violate somebody's quote unquote free speech. So to me, you all don't have the cachet with the public to be the ones to decide what someone is saying is truthful or not, in my opinion, because y'all admitted that you were compromised by the Biden administration. You admitted that people were telling the truth, and you purposefully ruined people's lives, livelihood. You censored them. You defamed their character, calling them spreaders of misinformation. All of these things y'all did. You all don't have in my opinion, y'all don't have the right now to be the judges of who was able to speak and who was not, in my opinion. You lost all credibility, all of it. So
look, man, I lost my channel for telling the truth about COVID and saying why I wouldn't take the jab. That's what took my channel was lost for medical misinformation. That's what they said.
So but now they're saying it wasn't medical misinformation.
Yeah. Hydrochloroquine, and I can't pronounce it. Hydroxy, whatever it is. It was not hydroxy, whatever that stuff is.
And
I did that and said you could take this and it creates. I had a nurse on there. She was like, yeah, it creates oxygen in the body, this and that. We use it. It's actually better. We use it as a therapeutic. So when you get it, you can take, man, look here. I get an email, channel gone. So.
Yeah, so that's why I'm just like, again, and we talk about the free market, but the market isn't free if the government can influence it like it did. It's not a free market. It's not a free market if the government can tell the quote unquote free market, do this to the people they don't comply. It's not a free market. And that was proven during the Biden administration, where he's telling companies, if this person don't want to do this, they shouldn't be working there. If this person don't want to make your employees, quote unquote, get the jab. And so even the idea of a free market was corrupted during the Biden administration. A lot of stuff happened, in my opinion, that really was horrible. Even with ivermectin, in real time, anybody could have went to the NIH's website and their first mode of treatment was remdesivir, which we all agree was terrible. But their second one was ivermectin. So when everybody was on TV talking about ivermectin and how bad it was, the NIH literally had on their web. I did a video on it. The NIH literally was the second mode of treatment was ivermectin on their website. So again, what they did to the people was horrible during that time. Horrible.
I mean, my thing was, and I got a homeboy, I hadn't talked to him, but he told me he was the first person I heard that actually said I should lose my job if I don't take the shot.
Somebody you know said that?
Yeah, he said it. He told me, we was talking. This is when they first proposed it. I said, man, that's stupid, ain't it? No, I don't think it's dumb at all. I think you should lose your job if you don't take the shot. It's 99% effective. It's 95%. Well, it's 90%, 85. Well, I mean, it weakens it. I mean, it went to that, then it went to, well, it just weakens it. Now, I know the people that went got the shot. They done caught it 3 or 4 times.
Come on, man.
I got people I know that took them shots, took 2 shots. They done caught it at least 3. I caught it 1 time. If God, listen, man, you don't beat God at what he did. You can't beat God at making how he created the human body. You just can't.
But then, they came out and said, out of their own mouth, well, it's not going to stop you from getting it. You're doing it to protect others. They came out and said it. They came out and said it.
That's why I lost my channel. 18,000 subscribers, gone. 5 years of content, gone.
I lost mine talking about black folks. I got it. It took my account down. Hold on, let's go.
Think they have to have a culling of the herd, man. If they just fairly let YouTube run by itself and just let people just put up content, man, you'd be surprised who will get big mega millions of subscribers.
Oh, come on, man. You know how to game. You know how to, come on, man.
You will be surprised. It'll be the way. How this dude here got a million? You'd be surprised they throttle.
So what part of?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, they throttle certain people's channels and other channels they don't. You know what? I'm glad you're showing this because this is ridiculous. This is I went to I went to Tuskegee, right? I'm from Montgomery, went to Tuskegee. I love HBCUs. I think HBCUs are great for black people. If you really understand and understand the demographics of blacks as far as where they are educationally, the HBCU is the best thing going for black folks. I do tech. I run Lift in the Veil IT Academy. I train people how to make 6 figures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm teaching the class now. And I'm going to tell you right now, 1 in 6 of every black person that you see in tech is from an HBCU. That's how much HBCUs produce black coders and people that's in tech.
40%. I think it was something like HBCUs account for 40% of the job market with blacks or something.
Yeah.
It was a crazy stat that they put out a couple of years ago.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a black eye for HBCUs. It just is. And I saw some conservatives. Oh, they went out there. They agitating the people. They just did it. They didn't have permission. Well, the problem is these same guys. If you go on, because I went on TikTok and I looked at their actual channel. They've been to 6 or 7 other white universities. Didn't have no problem. Same thing. Sit there with a table. Black kids, white kids, just walk right up and talk to them. But this is
so to clarify to somebody in the comments, so my account got taken down, just so you know, and they show you the videos that you put up that you get this quote unquote strikes for. So all 3 strike videos I got, not warnings, all 3 strike videos I got from my first channel was talking about black culture. It was talking about black culture. So it wasn't, that's what it was talking about. And that, so you saying I'm talking about Democrats and the shot? No, I was talking about black culture. My shots, my stuff on COVID and stuff was getting warnings. Those got my actual strikes on my account came talking about black culture. my videos on Instagram that got snatched down talking about black culture. Even when I had accounts, when Instagram was like, you know, if you remove these videos, we will bring your account status back to normal. Only one of those videos dealt with COVID. All the rest of them dealt with black culture. That's how I realized that they're using black people to do all this stuff. That's why
at least they gave you a chance, bro.
Well, yeah, they did. I mean, they did. I ain't gonna lie.
I think YouTube is wrong. It's wrong when people work for years to build a channel, man, and put up thousands of hours of content, and they don't get a warning. You just take their video down because you don't like their views.
Right.
And then they have no recourse. They send an email. They ain't got no phone number. They got that's just out highway robbery. You got people that have put hours and hours and hours of content in.
They put their life. They put their life into it. They put their life into it. You gotta think. You growing a channel. You putting your life into something. It takes a lot. It takes patience, time. Come on, man. It's a lot goes into building a channel, and just to snatch it away, it's crazy. And then black folks celebrating it is even more crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Guess who's a reluctant YouTuber? Just come to my page when I'm on another day. You'll hear me talk about everything. Charlie Kirk, all that. You hear me talk about everything. So you can come to my page. See, the problem with black folks, I'm saying this again with black people. Black people don't have any honor. They'll just say something, and if they're wrong, they won't come back and say I was wrong.
Low moral character. Bro.
Low moral character. Like they'll just make a bold claim, be wrong about something, and won't come back and say, my bad, I was wrong, I'm sorry, you were right. None of that. They just keep on going.
I like to look up definitions of words because it really tells you where people are and where they stand and what they hold dear. Yeah. You look at the word moral, it means of relating to principles of right and wrong in behavior, or expressing or teaching the conception of right behavior. So what is right to a black person? Ethical. What is considered ethical for a black person? Well, we look at it as acting white if you show up on time. That is not right? It's acting white if I tell you I'm gonna be there at 9 o'clock and I show up at 9:45. You shouldn't be mad at me because these are little things that black people say. You go to the Smithsonian and look at their list. This is it's white to show up on time.
I did a video on that.
To speak properly. Yeah.
It's white to set
you're
goals.
Describing low moral character. Yeah. So what it means is
white to set goals. It's white to have a 2-parent house. They even said it was white for each child to have their own room. Like it was detailed and insane. It was crazy.
Yeah. And so when I say low moral character,
it was right to believe. It was white to believe in one God. Like it was crazy. Like it was nuts.
Look, it's low moral character for you to say, "Hey, you told me you was gonna be here at 9 o'clock. I showed up. You wasn't here on time. I waited 20 minutes. You didn't show, and I left. You show up at 9:45. It's wrong for me to say that. That's white. That means low moral character. We call it CP time. Or another one, to pay people back when you give them, you borrow some money and pay it back. That's a trait of black people, choosing not to pay people back when they borrow money. These are just things, low moral character. That's just those are facts. Well, who are you to rate if it's high or low? You can't have a functioning society if you gonna show up 45 minutes late.
Right.
If you show up 45 minutes late, we can't run business because
I was late today.
Your word doesn't mean anything. Your word means nothing.
So I'm gonna say this again. On my channel, anybody watching my channel, if you lie on me, you're getting put in timeout. You can make whatever comments you want to make. But if you lie on this channel, you lie on me, you're getting put in timeout. I'm letting you know now. I'm just telling y'all. But let's play this video.
So what part of our systems is for people of color?
All of it. The entire system is for everybody. Anybody who's an American citizen.
So you feel like there's nothing. So you feel like everybody is equal.
Yeah.
And
I mean, everybody's equal in their rights, but not everybody's obviously equal in their, what they have. Like, I grew up in a double wide trailer. He grew up in Boca Raton, so, we didn't grow up equal. We're both white. I mean, he's a Jew, so that's probably why he grew up in Boca Raton. But so we're not equal in what we possess as we start always, but we are equal in what we're allowed to do, our opportunity.
Can I ask you, do you think that there's any law that allows me to do something that you can't do, for example?
I don't think there's any laws that say that you can do something that I can't. But then again, this system can't be ignored. Like, we can't just say it does not exist, because there are countless examples of it existing.
Maybe just one example of what you're talking about. So what's wrong with the system that allows, I guess, racism to be systemic or institutionalized?
I mean, I would
See, this is what I mean. So he had an opportunity right there. Now, he's very passionate about racism in America. He's very passionate about the system. He said it's so obvious we can't deny it. But when they ask him a question, well, just give us one example, he said he can't. And I got a problem with that. I got a problem with y'all willing to tear something up, but when they ask you a simple question, you can't answer it. That's crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, look, the data's not on black people's side with crime, education. Guys, black people spend half the time as whites per night on average studying. They spend a fourth of the time almost that Asians do studying. If the white man is you got to work twice as hard as the white man, why are you working half as hard as the white man? Like, does that compute? I mean, you spend about 2 hours a week studying. The white man spends about 4. Make it make sense. He working twice as hard as you are. Guess what? The ACT scores reflect it.
Sub, did you know that black people consume more television
Yep.
and social media than the entire planet by 40%?
Wow.
Listen to me. Nielsen did a report by 40% more than the rest of the globe. When they surveyed black people and asked them what would they change about media, you know what they said?
Nothing.
No, they said more representation.
Lord have mercy.
Think about that. They said more representation.
This is the thing, right? When you have these type of statistics that in conservatives, you got to know this because you're conservative, right? So when you have these type of statistics, I don't think black people put this together. If you spend 30 minutes a night studying and Asians spend 2 hours a night studying, the Asians are going to do better than you in math and science. So when you go to college, guess what you're going to major in if you study 2 hours a week? You're going to major in social sciences. Well, guess what? All you got to do is type that up. That's what we major in when we go to college.
Right.
Low paying, those are the lower paying.
Liberal arts.
Yeah, exactly. 70% of our PhDs are in education. 70% of black people's PhDs, right? The lowest paying.
Hold up, 70?
Yeah, it's real bad. It's real low. And the thing is, this translates to lower paying jobs. I'm in tech. My students consistently make over $100,000 a year or more. But if you are a social worker, like I got my wife's friend is a social worker, she makes about 40. See what I'm saying?
You got to plug your school.
Oh yeah, definitely.
After
I'll put it in the chat.
After the show, you're gonna explain your school so we can.
Yeah, okay. I'll share the screen and everything.
All right.
But what I'm saying is, this translates. There are repercussions for lack of effort, or should I say, laziness. Call it what you want. Academic laziness. Being academically lazy pays dividends because you don't major in the sciences. electrical engineering, mathematics. You don't major in that. So guess what? Those are the higher paying fields. So what did that cost black people in the last 100 years? I ain't gonna say what did that cost black people in the last 30 years? Well, in 1996, had you been in the master's program at Stanford University, you might have been able to get over there with Larry Page and Sergey Brin when they were developing this search engine called Google. You might have been able to work with them because you was in the program, but guess what? Well, it ain't that many black people. We're not in the rooms when these companies are being made because we don't have the credentials. We don't have the qualifications. These are facts. This is not hate. Because guess what? I'm proof because I train black people that drive trucks, that work in factories, that school teachers, police officers, and they go out there and they're able to compete with these people once they get the skills. But the college's university system is set up a certain way. So you're at a disadvantage. This is so now then you have the nerves to talk about a racial wealth gap. Well, number one, you make less income, right? Another problem is you're less likely if a company has a matching program. Let's say the company will match up to like 6%.
Yeah.
Black people invest in that the least out of all races. These are just facts, right? So what happens is by the time you 45, 50, all your other counterparts, they comfortable. They sitting on 600, 700, 500, 400,000 in their 401k. Black people, you didn't really put no money in there. You might have 60,000, 70,000 in there. These are just cultural habits. Why? A lot of times, it might be there are cultural habits. Like, for example, a lot of times when a black person get out the hood and they are making money, working in a corporate America job, they taking care of their mama, they taking care of their sister, their brother, their cousin. So a lot of times,
the fruits of their labor. They're enjoying the fruits of their labor.
They buying nice cars. Yeah. They have bad habits. All this stuff is blamed on racism, right? Racial wealth gap, cultural habits. These are all habits of black people. What I'm talking about, just about every conservative I know knows this. That's why they conservative, because they know, man. Look, bro, I'm from the hood. I've seen it. I've seen this, bro. Bad cultural habits hurt black people. That's the truth.
And can we agree? The biggest problem with the wealth gap is black folks don't get married.
Oh, come on, man.
It's hard. How you gonna close the wealth gap if you competing with two-parent households? How you gonna?
Big facts.
Most black households are almost 80% single women.
Yeah.
Of course, it's gonna be a wealth gap. Y'all can't compete with forget white people, because white folks actually rank 5th in America. Y'all can't. Everybody above white people get married. The Asians, Indians, Nigerian,
Asian Americans are the highest paid. They're making their household income is $140,000 a year, almost triple black folks.
It is, but also, like you said, culturally, the foundation is culturally that propels them to do those things. Well, they value family, they value togetherness, they value putting the work in, picking the hard majors. Jarrell said black folks will get a major that's hard and then flunk out and switch to another major, the liberal arts degrees. I mean, it happens all the time. Again,
so you got to look at it. Black women are the most educated. Okay, black women, look at their net worth. Look at them. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just. So why? Because you went to college, you got in you incurred a lot of student loan debt to get a degree.
Number one in foreclosures.
Psychology. I do consultations, social work, psychology, criminal justice. I don't know what it is about black people in those 3 degrees. I don't know what it is. We think criminal justice and history is a good degree to go to school for. Yeah, I majored in history. Okay. You're struggling. Unless you want to teach history, I just don't see it. I wouldn't even go to college if that's what I'm a major in. Don't waste your time going to college unless you're going to a trade school or something. Or if you're going to go to a community college, like one of my favorites up here in Atlanta is Georgia Piedmont. They got a associate program for database developers and administrators. That's a good degree to get, a little associate. Get that. That's the easiest one to get. But if you're not gonna do that, don't waste your time going to school. It's a waste.
I wish y'all had told me that.
Man, me too. I played basketball, so I was doomed.
Yeah.
I was playing basketball in college, so I that's the only reason I went to like a couple of schools. I'm playing junior college. I graduated from junior college. I really could have just went on about my business, but then I played at Tuskegee. So, went to Tuskegee.
All right, we're gonna finish this so you can drop your link for your class because folks asking about it. Let's go.
Arguing the opposite. Like, again, we have civil rights acts on top of civil rights acts in addition to the 14th Amendment's equal protection clause. 14th Amendment being written for the sole purpose of expanding and equalizing the rights of white people and black people. And furthermore, the 14th Amendment equal protection clause echoes exactly what like the Civil Rights Act says, right? You cannot be discriminated based on your inalienable characteristics like your race, your sex, your sexuality, etc.
But even though we have these laws, that doesn't stop it from happening. We still know that.
You're right, racism does happen still, even though there are laws that ban it. And I think that those laws are oftentimes used to enforce a culture of anti-racism in the United States. We actually cancel people for being racist all the time. But we have in the system, as far as the system goes, you can't stop people from being racist on an individual level, unfortunately. It happens in every country, on every continent, all around the world, and it has since the beginning of time. But what you can do is make it illegal to institutionalize it by saying, you can't allow you have to allow everybody to eat at your restaurant. You can't not admit people based on their color. You can't prioritize people based on their color, etc. And I would say.
And another thing too, I noticed this another thing about having a worldview. Most black people's view doesn't go outside of United States. They can't conceptualize that people around the world live a certain way. So they just think it's just them in America, quote unquote, suffering. I mean, it's just like he's telling this guy, racism, you can't stop race. Like you can't stop somebody from being racist. You can't or being hateful or being a bigot or being prejudiced or anything. You can't stop people from doing anything. So to even expect that is very naive and childish. Like to even expect to be able to walk through life and have no kind of adversity that you don't like is insane. And so, but black people actually believe this. They actually believe they should be able to walk through life and have nobody not like them, nobody not like the way they look, this is normal human behavior.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. I think they just, I think we've been spoiled, man. I think everything has been centered on the black struggle.
Yeah.
But when it's all said and done, I think that hurts black people. It would be better, you would be better served not knowing history. I know that black people in history has done a number on black people. We always go,
the greatest
black
detriment.
people need to know their history. No, you probably
No.
need to get that out your school. That's the problem. You learn about history, you learn all these little tidbits about how the white man put his foot up your behind. And so what do? You say, oh, well, the system is designed for me to fail, so why try? Well, I'm gonna flunk out of school. Or why try? I'm gonna go to college and major in psychology, or I'm gonna go because then scream about racism because you got all this pressure. You got 140,000 in student loan debt. You got, you making $30,000 working at some little rental car place, and you blaming systemic oppression. I know people like this. I went to school with people like this.
But I know people
I was
that
a coon in college though, because I supported Bush back then. I'm an old coon. So it is what it is.
But Steve, I knew people that would pledge and drop out.
Yeah.
They would go enroll in college, join a fraternity, and drop out.
Bro, you is never lied. Let me tell you something. Remember that dude that killed that dude Hazen out there at the Southern?
Talking about a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that dude, the guy that was like the ringleader, we know some, my wife's a Delta, right? So she knows some what they call the bros. She know one of her homegirls date a dude and they went down to Southern for homecoming or something. That same guy that got locked up was trying to fight other Qs, trying to start fights with the other Qs because they wasn't Q enough.
Oh yeah, so he was crazy.
So she said, that's that same dude. That's that same dude that was trying to start that fight because I had heard about it. She's like, that's him? Yeah. So that dude is a professional Q dog. You got those. Like, and then it's not just a white college. It's at every college where dudes pledge Q, or they pledge the organization fraternity. They 26, 27, they still running in line, or they go in the shop. Shop is when they go illegally and meet with you and beat you and you do all types of stuff. And I saw dudes that was in their mid-20s still on campus, graduated 3-4 years prior.
Still
on campus. They don't got a job. They work near the school, or they ain't got a job, or they just laying around on their homeboy couch.
And they got that paraphernalia on though.
Yeah, they wear every day you see them. They got their stuff on, and it's one thing about going to HBCU. It's fun. I loved it. It was one of the best times of my life going to Tuskegee. But it's funny, man, because I'm thinking now, like, man, when I met my wife, she went to Alabama State. I went to Tuskegee. So we used to be talking. She would tell me stuff, and we hit it off because I'm like, that's exactly how it was when I was in school. Same exact, way the stuff she described. I'm like, yep, that's how it was at Tuskegee.
So she's a Hornet.
Yep.
And what's y'all mascot?
Ours is the Golden Tigers.
Okay.
That I would say getting rid of DEI works towards that objective.
So, y'all had say make America great again. How do y'all feel that America is not great, and how do y'all feel that America can be great again? And when was it great?
Yeah, I would say that the most recent example of America being great was the first term of Donald Trump. And then we had 4 years of Joe Biden in chaos, and then Trump is president again. So this is his campaign hat for his, lead up to his second term.
Hey, Brent, pause it right here real quick. So Brando says it seems like I'm contradicting. He's saying the HBCUs are great, but you're also saying get an associate. I don't think anyone should go to college unless they're going to go in something that's going to make some money. But if you're going to go to college, and I don't know if you were here earlier, 1 in 6 of the black people in tech came from HBCUs. So, and HBCUs
contribute greatly to the work they do.
Yeah,
like so they actually do contribute greatly. They do.
Exactly. They had a homecoming, Howard homecoming. They had a video for homecoming some years ago where they broke down the demographics about HBCUs move a lot for the little money that you see a lot of black people making. HBCUs contribute to that greatly. So but if you're going to go to school and major in criminal justice, then no, don't go.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Go to a junior college. And that's most black people. Really, enrollment should be probably a tenth of 50, maybe 20% of what it really is. If the other 80% probably shouldn't have went. I shouldn't have went, be honest with you. I was just trying to play ball, be honest with
you. Yeah.
Tice, what's up, baby?
I don't know why I went. Let's continue.
Like, what would happen?
Come on, really? Seriously? Yo.
Oh, you better not, Blake! You better not!
Okay.
Hold on.
Guys, we're literally just here to have civil discussions.
Hold on, man. Hold up. 2 things happened. Because I covered this, even though I was on Rumble the other day, I still covered it. Even after they got rid of my channel. But that first girl came up and she was like, do you mind if I take a picture? And then she took off running, right? With the man's stuff, right in front of the cops. Cops ain't do that.
Right.
Other dude walks by, takes his stuff. Dude reaches for his thing. And this dude, look at him. He got on some pajamas, a tank top, a wave cap, some socks, and some Nike the sandals or school, whatever, right?
Furry house. Yeah,
he looked like a nigga standing on the corner selling dope. When we was in school at Tuskegee, we used to dress. Like when we was in school, it was a fashion.
No, we said, yeah.
It was fashion. These kids don't even want to dress. But anyway, he runs in this boy face, in the dude face, saying you better not for his own property. Do you know how immoral and evil you got to be? This is embarrassing, bro. This is what I'm saying. I went to HBCU. I will not lie for no HBCU. This is a black eye, not just for HBCUs, but for the entire black community. This video is embarrassing. This is embarrassing, man. It makes me ashamed. I'm ashamed. And listen, they gonna follow these dudes all the way. The dude right here.
Oh no, I'm gonna show. No, listen, no. We gonna listen. We're gonna watch this, and we're gonna see the guy being interviewed, Jason Whitlock. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. They're gonna show everything. We're gonna see it. They're not gonna. But it's funny you mentioned that the guy wanted to fight him because he wanted his own stuff back. Like, it's just crazy. But they're oppressed though.
How the cops let them get away with taking their stuff?
Because the
right there, they stole somebody's property in their face, and then the school says that the students acted professionally.
Yes,
because he ran in the dude's face.
Yes, because the fact that they are there and they are white is the offense. They already in the fact that they wanted to even come to the college and sit down and set up shop, they already in the wrong. They could do nothing right from that point. All they could have did was went to campus and handed out free stuff. That have been it. That'd have been it. Any kind of dialogue, they already. And to me, honestly, they deserve what they got. You know why? Because y'all casting y'all pearls among the swine. Why even do it?
See, hold on. This is why when Republicans get in office, they don't do any outreach. As a black, look, my brother is a Republican. He's been in office in the state of Alabama. He would get mad at the Republicans because they didn't want to do no outreach. Look, this is why. Black people, these are the same black people that say, what has the Republican Party done for black people? Nothing. Why would you, they not supposed to do nothing. Look at you. If I got in office and I got 3% of your vote, you didn't get nothing from me. You put 97% of your vote behind one party. The Republican Party is not supposed to do something for somebody that a 3% demographic. So, oops.
You know what's funny? Black people vote 90+% for Democrats, but then blame Republicans. It don't make it.
The dumbest question I've ever heard in my life. What has the Republican Party done? Well, I mean, you don't vote for 3%. That's like if you send somebody to the store with 3 cents and send somebody to the store with 97 cents. You say, hey, man, bring me back some bubble gum. The other person, I ain't got enough money to get you no gum. You only gave me 3 cents. The other guy don't come back with the gum and you blame the guy with the 3 cents. That's black folk. You don't say, well, you gave him 97 cents. He should at least bought you something. He ain't get nothing. And you ain't even upset. You mad at the guy? Well, I'm going to still give him a 97%, just like the Mac. You get on out there and get my money. That's what he's saying. Get on out there and get my money. My favorite song to play is I Choose You from the Mac.
Oh, yeah.
Willie Hutch. Love that song.
Josiah Blakely said, I recently graduated from Morehouse last year, and HBCUs aren't the same as they were back then. Even though they produce jobs for black folks, they are pure indoctrination camps.
Bro, I ain't trying to be funny, man. I saw you guys. Y'all had an interim president back in 2018 when I got my Salesforce certification. I was it wasn't Dreamforce. It was a Salesforce conference up in Atlanta. I had just got my certification. I go to the conference. You guys had an interim, I guess, dean sitting in, black dude. He sat there the whole time talking about LGBT. I said, bro, wait a minute. I was angry. And my boy got mad because he's super Democrat. Man, why you? I said, bro, this man is running probably, let's be honest, one of the top 5 to 3 best black colleges in the country. like Ivy League level. Like, you know, Morehouse, I went to Tuskegee. We usually number 3 or number 4, right? Morehouse, Spelman, they right in there, man. It's, I mean, this is like top cream of the crop HBCUs, right? And you telling me that he wants to sit up there and talk about LGBT causes on campus? These are men that you should be thinking about getting these men prepared to go out here and be husbands and create families and providers and run their own companies. And you talking about LGBT? And that's right after that is when that story broke about they had to write something about Morehouse because they was wearing high heels. They had to stop them. Dudes was wearing high heels on the campus.
I remember that.
Bro, come on, man. That's embarrassing, bro.
That
pisses me off.
I did a video on the Morehouse, their little it's like their theology department. And they were talking, you know, they were talking about, you know, how you ain't got to be married and, you know, we can do this a new way and all this. And they led up. So the end of the talk, the guy said, this is going to be the future of the Black church. And he puts this guy's book up. Basically, it was the Black church is going to be LGBTQ. And it's crazy that the way they were talking in the conversation, they were just disregarding all the things of like morality and character, all the things of the past for being a pastor and leader in the community. And they just like segued in the end. He talked about this guy's book and basically just how they basically are trying to connect LGBTQ with the gospel and saying it's not really a separation. And it was crazy. Anyway, it's crazy. But that was at Morehouse too. I just wanted to say. Let me oh shoot. Hold
No, bring the sign back.
Right there, Blanche. See that tick?
Yeah.
Hold up. That dude standing in the way. So is this okay? So it's all right, pause it. Wait a minute now. God dang. There she go. See the chick standing right behind the microphone. She got a bag on her arm.
Yeah.
With the braids.
Yeah.
That chick got a shirt on that says, was it saved? What it says? Black, saved, and tired. Like very black, very saved, very tired. So
saved
like,
is then saved through Christ.
I mean, I'm assuming that's what it means. I mean, and she's gonna look at the camera when they walk in and read the shirt, and I'm sick of this. And then she just walks off, and she followed these folks all the way off the edge of campus, bro. She wanted so much attention. It was, bro. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I went to HBCU. You look like you just look stupid. I'm not following these people. If I thought like that, I'm not finna follow them with my phone out. You look thirsty. You look lame. I'm sorry. Like, this is what I would, if we was on campus, we would call you lame. Come on, man. You are lame. If you following somebody, go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right.
My bad.
Okay, hold on. All right. All women. You got the women in the front. You got the studs and the queens and the ratchets in the front, and you got the men in the back.
They're always gonna be mad.
Look at it.
end live pregame or postgame situation here. We have 500 people watching.
We got 500 right here watching.
Look. Whoa. This is insane. What the heck? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this
Now
is
y'all want white people to be able to do this. What y'all want? Y'all want the average white person minding their business to look at this and then look at y'all in the hood and be able to tell the difference.
Yeah, these supposed to be educated Negroes.
Y'all supposed to be the cream of the crop, and y'all is acting no different than somebody on the block. No different.
Why would they? This basically says the hell with the black community. I don't care what happens to you. I don't care. Leave me alone. I don't want to have anything to do with you. That's basically what it is. And you know what? I think it's warranted. I think they've conducted themselves in such a way where if I were a white person, screw them. That's just what I would say. I mean, can you blame them? These people, like, this is the problem. I'm gonna tell you, if you go to this guy's TikTok, because I went to his TikTok, he's on white college campuses talking to black people, and they're having civil discussions, and they're going back and forth, putting their ideas out. Look, man, if you think that 1 + 1 = 5, right? And I know 1 + 1 = 2. Why am I scared? I'm gonna sit there inside and explain your case. How's it 5?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna just draw a little timeline out. 1, 2. 1 + 1 is 2. 1 here, 2. Right? Real simple. When it comes down to the truth, man, if the truth is on your side, what are you scared of? So why are you shooting a bird at someone who wants to have an actual civil discussion? Like, if you know that the facts are on your side, that black people are just hardworking, industrious, we don't have all, we have all these good cultural habits, right? Black people are just, it's not that the system, it's not us, it's the system.
Right.
And then when somebody tries to challenge you on that and say, okay, well, tell me, what can you do legally? What can I do legally that's codified in law that you can't? Show me a law where it says no black people can do X. Well, there aren't any laws, but it's a system. Well, why? Well, look at the criminal justice. That's the first thing they throw up, right? Well, I mean, you break the law, you commit more crime. According to the FBI, table 43A, one of my favorite tables. You make up 30, 20, black people make up, what is it, 13% of the population?
Yeah.
Well, 2019, you committed 52% of the murders. Why is that?
2023 too. 50 some.
Every year you're north of 50% of the murders. Why? Every year you're even higher as a percentage of robberies. Why?
They're gonna say slavery.
You overproduce 13. You're not producing 13% of any crime in America. Every crime we got, the lowest number I saw was 14%. So you're overproducing in every metric. That's a fact.
In crime.
In crime. That's just the FBI. We're not, it's other statistics.
Yeah.
But that's just the FBI. So you are disproportionately criminal. This is why? Because, well, you go to the schools. Well, your children are born out of wedlock, right? Okay. What happens when a child doesn't have a father in the home? Well, he has behavioral issues. Black people know this much, right? They'll agree with you. Yeah, when a young man acts up, that's because he ain't got no dad at home. Okay, so he in elementary. Okay, he bad.
But that's guess what though? That's any child though.
Exactly. So he's in elementary, he's a bad kid. He's in junior high, he's a bad kid. He's in high school, he's a bad kid. He graduates high school. There are no teachers. He can't get sent to the teacher's office no more. He out of school if he graduates. Now what? Who gonna deal with him now? Thank you. The police. Oh, they disproportionately putting us in prison. They disproportionately? Yeah, we over-policed in our communities. Okay, so are white people over-policing those same exact? Because if you got cities where you make up 30% of the population, which would be because you don't make up 75, 80% of every major metropolitan.
Right. Right.
So a lot of these metropolitan areas, it should be 65% of the arrests are white because you're saying that those communities are over policed.
Right.
Like black people, you live in Atlanta, white folks will move in the hood in Atlanta. They ain't getting arrested though.
Right.
The people that's getting arrested in the hood are getting arrested for crime. You are more criminalistic. This is a fact. It's not even, so that's when they talk about, they call that racist and that's hate. I'm black. I catch strays because of that. I don't like that. I don't like nobody thinking of me, oh, here come a black guy. But you disproportionately commit crime. Look at this. Look how these kids acted. Look at how they acted.
You're right. It's mostly black men doing it. 6% of the
Yeah,
population.
in fact, if you take that 6%, it's really even lower than that. If you take black men from ages
about
15 to
about
35,
less than 2%. Yeah, 2%.
that's about 75, 80% of the murders on any given year right there. Ages 15 to 35.
Yeah.
So you talking about maybe 1.5%, 2% of the population committing over half the murders.
Causing havoc.
Yeah. And we know that, man. You go find a young black boy and look at, and see him. And look, a lot of young men, black men, you see them out on the street, look like they want to fight. They look at you like they hate your guts just because you. I remember I was looking at a property. I did a flip some years back, and I got off work and I had this realtor. She was coming to meet me, and the property was in. I said, man, this is a great deal. Comps, it just look. I was like, man, the numbers look good.
What part of town was it in?
Man, I pulled on that street because the house around the corner was nice. Man, I pulled on that street. It was about 20 niggas just standing in the street. They looking at me. I had my windows down. I got the jazz music playing. I got my work clothes on with the little badge. I got my little polo, with the little slacks. I get out. Them niggas looking at me like, who is this nigga here? I look in the window of the property. They looking at me like they ready to fight you. Because I say, you know what? I called a realtor. Say, don't worry about it. I see why the property was listed so low. Because of them. Well, guess what? That's the typical black neighborhood. Like,
right.
See, when you want to talk about stuff, you got to talk about stuff like that. Cultural habits affect stuff like appraisals. That affects it. If you pull up on the street, people don't think of this. You pull up on the street and that house was lower on the market, not because of the comps, but because of the people that lived in the neighborhood. That they don't take that into account. She said that property, because I talked to her, she said it took a while to sell. It took a while. I'm from the hood. I remember one time a quadruplex went on. This gonna sound, you ain't gonna believe this, man. There was a quadruplex that came on the MLS in Montgomery, where I'm from, for $25,000. Quadruplex.
25,000.
I rolled over there and I saw why. As soon as I got on the street, I saw why. Let's tell the truth, man. I keep it a buck about black folks. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. Love being black.
Hold up, 25,000.
Yes, and I ain't want it. I didn't want the hassle. First of all, sometimes, man, like when people look at you, like you could tell when you pull on the street the type of block it was. People didn't take care of their property. People parking on the grass, and it's always these dusty, Thundercats standing out there with their hair all on their head, looking crazy. Junkies coming all up and down the street. I walked in there and looked. They done ripped. They didn't take pictures and put it on the thing, but they done went in there. Somebody done ripped the wires out the wall. Right, I walked in there. They done, like somebody bust the outside of the house and snatched the table, the tub out. I said, man, you know what? If they doing that, I've been through that before.
Yeah.
And I know, because I flipped houses. And I know I don't want to deal with the hassle. Because one of my homeboys, his first house was in the hood like that. And they ran him crazy. They was breaking in his house every night. Every night, he'll come back, they done kick this door in. He done rehab the house, mud all on the done part. One time they went in there because he really put some 2x4s in there with some screws and tried to. They hit it with a axe or something. But they got in there, busted open his paint and poured it on his carpet he had just bought.
Just evil. Just
on
evil.
GP, just because I guess he want to board his stuff up. I guess they was upset. They didn't even take nothing that night.
Oh, I got it. They mad. They couldn't sleep in there. Hang out.
Mad they couldn't get in there easy. I'm gonna tell you how he stopped it. He found out the dude across the street was on drugs, so he figured it was him. He told him, he said, "Hey man, I'll pay you, man. Just watch it for me, man. I pay you, man. I'll pay you $100 a week, man. Just check it out for me." Next thing you know, ain't nobody breaking there no more. Like this the type of mindset that and I'm like, why you got to pay this dude to stop him from going up in your house? I mean, listen, man. I flipped houses for years. I did it for 5 years full time. I can tell you nightmares of dealing with those types of people, tenants. That's why I never wanted to rent, because I knew I saw hell in those tenants. I could tell when they pull up. I said, they're going to tear this house up. Man, how you know? I could tell. You could tell. It's a certain look.
Listen.
Yeah, and they know what I'm talking about. I know a dude that rented a house out in Montgomery. Real nice house, man. Christian dude. Cool guy. Do IT out there on the Air Force Base. This dude had a house over there in a nice, quiet neighborhood. One of them wide, old-style ranch homes, probably built in the 70s. Beautiful. Had a pool in the back. Man, he rented that joke out for cheap. I think he rented for later had a Section 8 voucher. They lied and said they had a voucher. They didn't. He still let them rent it. Them niggas got in there and I think they paid him twice. Took them a year to get them out of there.
Oh, yeah.
When they got out, I'm like, they got creative. They went to the doggone Lowe's or something, got some quick read, and poured it down his toilet. Right? So he had concrete down his toilets.
Dang.
They poured it in his sink. They took they snatched the wires out the wall. Wiring that's really expensive. They busted up his HVAC unit. He had same thing. I don't know what it is. I guess everybody know to pour paint on the carpet. What else they did? Man, they busted sheetrock out. I mean, they did. He had some beautiful marble countertop. Man, he came in there and busted all the countertops up. I mean, they probably cost him about $40,000
God, it's evil, man. God. Hey.
This is the type of stuff you deal with. And this was a lady coming in that time. I see, God told me this and that, and they got it there and they pay that man nothing.
Listen, I had a when I used to rent out a property.
Actually, I did, brother. Guess who? I said I made $600,000. What do you think I sold them at? I ain't selling to black folks. Go ahead.
I rented to my first tenant was a white woman, a single white woman, older. I'm talking about the best tenant you ever want. No problems. No problems. Nothing ever was broke in the house. It just nothing, no problems. Just as sweet as she want to be. She ended up getting a house. She moved out. My next tenant was a friend of the family's family. Now they done told me they gonna pay, they working, they do that. Oh, they told me, man. God.
And guess what? When they do it, they know the law better than you do.
Oh my goodness, man.
They know the law.
God, I'm just like, why would y'all house? Oh,
that's why when you go to an Airbnb now, they don't give you a key no more. People used to give people keys. Now they just give you a code. You know why?
Get a code. Yeah.
Because people was going into these Airbnbs, moving in there, and then doing the squatters' rights type thing and staying up, depending on what state you in.
Hold on. Not in the Airbnb, man. Come on.
Yes.
Come on, man. Not the air.
Grimy, bro. Grimy.
Hold on.
I mean, going up in people, I'm saying you done paid $150. You go up in there and stay up in them folks' stuff and don't come out. And you got the key. They changed the locks, all that. Now you see an Airbnb, they got cameras. They got everything. They got the little code on the door. That's why they do it.
God.
Oh, yeah. I got a saying, man. I had a saying, niggas gon' nigga, man. You just got to be ready. You just got to be ready.
From a noun to a verb in the same sentence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I hate to tell this story, but I got to, because this was about sums it up. So I had a homeboy, he flipped houses too. Because you become an investor, you kind of know all the guys. And I'm from Montgomery. So, man, my homeboy bought this house. Beautiful house over by Capitol Heights. They had just said they was going to build a Walmart, right? So, this house, he bought it. It was a duplex. So when he bought it, he just walked around outside, peeked in the windows. He didn't see the other room because it had like plastic up on the window. Man, he bought the house, come in there back. And so this lady that stayed there, it wasn't making so bad, man. It was a pretty, real pretty lady too. Real pretty, light eyes. A lot of dudes liked her, But let me tell you something. She moves out. He called me and said, man, come over here. Come on, let me show you something. I said, all right, I'll be over there. I come over there, bro. It's this scent coming up out the house. The funk of 40,000 years, right? Man, I go in the back. He showed me a pile. So what she didn't even have no diaper, Jeannie, bro. What she would do is the baby or boo-boo. She had 2 kids. They'll boo-boo in a diaper. She would wrap it up and then just make it into like a little ball and then just throw it in the room in the floor, right? So sometimes that plastic would come loose.
No, whoa. Time out. Whoa. She would, what, hold on. She put the diapers on the floor?
Yeah. She just stacked them up. It was about like, I would say, now it had kind of sunk down, but it looked like it probably was about 2 feet tall, right? Like just a big pile of just used diapers.
Why not throw it in the garbage can?
Bro, I don't know why. Let me tell you what she did. So, you know how the adhesive on the side of the baby diaper, when it come loose, you got a kid. This is soupy sometimes because these are kids. Man, he said that some of it had got onto the hardwood. It was hardwood, man. He opened the back window, bought a dumpster, put it out. He threw it out, had some essays over there. They got it up out of there. Man, that chick nasty. I never looked at her the same because I would see her out and I just speak like, Lord have mercy. Anyway.
This was the fine chick.
Yeah. You look at this chick, you would never think. I mean, she'd be dressed. She drove a night. Like, I didn't think she was that nasty. I'm like, I don't know what it was, but she had a big pile in the room, right? Bro, he called me back. He said, man, remember that room I cleaned? I said, yeah. He said, man, I could not get that. It had got down into the wood. I said, what? Talking about the boo-boo? He said, yeah, man. He said, man, we had to go get a drum sander, and it still was in there. It was the scent was in the wood. So he rented the drum sander. He rented the other sander. He couldn't get it up. He said, man, I just went to Lowe's and got some dark mahogany stain and just stained over it. He said, it would not come out. He said, fine, I got some scent odor. I went under the house and looked under the subflooring. It just had gotten down that far. So I just know when it comes to renting and dealing with it, I mean, these are the types of situations. Now, are there some situations like this with white folks? I don't know. I'm sure there is, right? But I'm just telling you why I was a flipper and never a renter. I'm not going to pay.
I wouldn't rent. Yeah. I wouldn't do renting. I wouldn't do it because it's just, I wouldn't do it. Listen, Sub, I want you to, we're about to wrap up. I want you to drop your pull up.
Yeah. You mind if I show the? Yeah. All right. There you go. So, guys, I'm gonna just say this too. I was gonna say, I got a new channel, by the way, and I've been trying to put it in the chat. It don't come up. I don't know why, but it don't look like my channel comes up. I can't put nothing in the chat. I don't know if it's because I ain't got no wrench. Do I got a wrench? Let me see. Golly, what's that? What happened?
Put
Sorry
it in there
that,
again.
Man. Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can. I tried to put it in there. It won't go in there. Hold up.
I can see it because
There you
I can
go.
post it on the screen.
You
You put it
see
in
it?
there?
Yeah, it's in there. You see it?
Let me scroll back down.
Nah, it should have been the last thing. Let me put it in the back chat. I'm gonna put it in the back chat.
Yeah, that'll work.
So guys, just they got rid of my channel yesterday, but I'm back over here. Yeah. So anyway, that's my other channel from YouTube right there. You see it, Blanche?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, let me talk about what it is you see on the screen. So, like I said, I went to Tuskegee. This is my academy. I'm a big fan of Booker T. Washington. Obviously went to Tuskegee, right? You can schedule a consultation. You can also enroll. This is my personal number right here if you want to call. That's my phone sitting right here by me right now. I love this quote. We will prosper in proportion as we learn to dignify and glorify labor and put brain and skill into the common occupations of life. That's at the Booker T. Washington.
So hold on 1 second, sub. So what's the actual website? www.
LTV. Hold on, let me put that in the back too.
Yeah.
Sorry. I should have just hold on 1 second. There we go. That's in the back chat too. But so anyway, what we do is we run. I've been doing this since 2017. So we talking, Lord have mercy, it's been 8 years coming up on 9. But this is me. This is my, what we do. We've had all these different classes. So what we do is we basically allow you to come in, you enroll, and you come in and, we teach class 3 times a week. We've taught all these classes. This is my Q&A where we answer different questions. Classes are live. What I do is I train you in my skill set. Right now, we're running a data analytics class. So let me show you. I'm going to go ahead and log in right quick. So you have to log in to get everything set up. Let me go ahead and get this to go. Where is it? Hold on 1 second. Let me log in. It's taking forever. I got to log in through what's the name? There we go. All right. Now, should let me in. There we go. So once you logged in, you click this member login right here. You scroll down, and this is my class right here that I'm running. But we've done blockchain that just ended in July. Data science, AI class is actually about to start up. It's probably my best teacher I've ever had, named Jennifer. We got database administration, Salesforce. We've had a bunch of classes over in that. But this right here is my class. And what we do is we got a Facebook group. We teach people. These are the old classes. If you click this, you can watch class. We started on the 26th, so you hadn't really missed that much. And this is the class right here. This opens up a WebEx link. This shows you the different, if you don't have a laptop, you can. So basically what I do is I come in and I train you 3 times a week. 2 hours on Tuesday, 2 hours on Thursday, and on Saturday mornings. We record every class. If you do miss a class, you can click that middle link right there. Once you do that, I give you, I'm going to just go in the Facebook group, which you guys don't see, but I'm going to just I ain't logged in over here. But anyway, we got a Facebook group. Once you get inside the Facebook group, you can go inside there. I got note cards. We have study sessions with the students. Students from prior cohorts are in there. So if you want to ask any questions or meet with them. And I've been doing this for about 8 years. I had my first channel, like I said, and I just one day was like, hey, man, anybody want to learn, hit me up. And I taught 3 years and really wasn't trying to turn it into like a business and thing, just as a hobby, just helping people. People kept getting jobs. I said, let me really, and my wife was like, why don't you go ahead and really take it serious? So I got the website developed, and here we are. So what I do now, oh yeah, by the way, biggest question people might have is, well, how much is it? I run an ad right now. It's just $97 a month. But if you come here and you enter, it says enter a coupon code 10, you hit apply. First 30 days is $9.97. And what we do is you come in and you just subscribe. So for $10, you can come in and you can really kick the tires, come to class, and see what's what. That way you can kind of learn. If you don't like it, unsubscribe in the upper right-hand corner. And I love doing this. It's really fulfilling for me because it's just an opportunity for me to help people.
Hold on, Sub. I'm against the question. So somebody's asking, which one is your course? It's the one
data analytics.
Data analytics. The code is 10, and the first month is $10.
Yes, that's what that does. It takes it down to $9.97. Yes,
and then $97 a month after that.
$97 a month until you unsubscribe. Class lasts 6 months because they always ask that question.
Okay, 6 months.
Yeah, you're doing about 5 hours, 4 to 5 hours a week of studying. Okay. Well, you in lecture with me. I require you to do 2 hours a day because I give you lectures. I give you labs. I did a quiz with the students last night. So this is something that I want, and I just been able to help people, man. It's the best thing in the world because I've really been able to help a lot of people get jobs, and it's just fulfilling. I love to get those phone calls from people. Say, hey, man, they just offered me the job, and I know because I've been doing IT for 16 years. So I know how to tell people, look, this is what they're going to ask you. This is what they're going to say. If you say this, you're not getting the job. Oh, yeah. By the way, I tell students to record their interviews, right? So what we do is we'll play the interview once you record it. And I'll tell you, look, man, you ain't getting this job because you said this, and this.
Yeah.
You sounded like a junior developer. You don't sound like you really know what you're talking about. And then you interview with me, and I'm going to tell you not to stumble through your interview questions. So if I ask you how to drive a car and you stumble, and it take you 5 minutes to tell me how to drive a car, then I just don't believe you really know what you're doing. If you've driven a car before, you're going to tell me, okay, open the door, sit down, put your seatbelt on, put the key in the ignition, put your foot on the brake, turn the car on, put the car in reverse while your foot on the brake, look in the rear view, look both sides, then bag up, pull it out in the driveway, then put it in drive, go, right? Okay, he's driven before. But if I ask you, it take you 3 minutes, even though you gave me the right answer, you're still not getting the job.
Right.
Because I know you don't know what you're doing, or you just started driving.
Right.
So it's a way you answer questions that allows people to, decide if you're competent. And so I try to make sure you're competent. And I tell you, if you're not competent, look, man, you ain't ready. I interview people. And I do what I have to do, like good coons do. They say Booker T. Washington was a coon anyway, so it is what it is, man. That's why I like Booker T. Not because they say he was a coon, but just because I like this philosophy. I think he was right. I think Du Bois was wrong. That's what I think. I think
Well, you know what's crazy? I did a paper in college, and I didn't know too much about liberal, conservative. I didn't really know about it. And my professor, African American Studies, I did a paper on Booker T versus Du Bois, which he hated you to pronounce it that way, and he gave me a B. And I was like, why you give me a B? Because all the marks on the paper were good. I'm like, why'd you give me a B? He was like, because I didn't like your take. I was like, what?
Oh, wow.
He said, I didn't like that you didn't. He said, I don't like what you said about Booker. He said, I don't like what you said about Du Bois and what you said about Booker T, because you basically made it seem like Du Bois was wrong.
He was.
And that's what I said. And this, keep in mind, I don't know anything. I don't know anything at this point. I'm just doing a paper but I had to read the 2 books to compare the 2 guys. So based on what I read, I was like, this guy makes a lot more sense than this guy. And so this dude said he gave me a B because I disrespected Du Bois. Not because my paper wasn't well written, but because I disrespected Du Bois in his mind. And I told him, I said, you can't do that. I said, you got to give me a B based on my paper, not my point in the paper. As you asked, I'm picking between 2 people. So he ended up changing my paper, my grade. But it's just the point that he was just, and guess what? And he called me into his office. Think about this. This man called me into his office to go over my paper with him. I'm like, dude, why are we in here? He's trying to lecture me on why Du Bois was right.
This is the thing. This is the thing that, and I always call college the bastion of evil, because most every jacked up philosophy, viewpoint, worldview that you and I make content about, or you and I as black men, the things that you hear black men complaining about. I'm not just talking about on the sense of, like politics. Even when you talk about dating, when it comes to feminist ideology, right, and how it's destructive to the family structure, and how the LGBT, right? All of it comes from college. All of it comes from some professor. Why? Because those people I was reading about at the beginning of this video called the Frankfurt School wanted it to be so. And that's why 98% of college professors are leftist, Marxist liberals. And they get your kids in college, and the first thing they do, I don't care if you go to college and you take history as a freshman, or what, first thing they're gonna do is try to stop you and drag you and tell you why you shouldn't go to church, why the Bible is like, bro, this is Western civilization. Just preach, just teach the class. So I remember I used to be in there debating the teachers and going at it with teachers and stuff. And I would still pass, but it'll be a battle. And that's what college does. It's what it is, man. It's really not even work. I'm just being honest, I don't think, like I said, I think it should be about 20%. The size of the enrollment should be about 20% of what it is. So this is why I got this academy, because I don't even talk politics I don't talk about politics in my class. I give you the data. I give you what I know, and I tell you how to succeed. That's it. I don't get into my personal views. And I got liberals. I got probably atheists. Some things you ain't gonna stop me from talking about. That's just who I am. But as far as my faith or something, you ain't gonna stop that. But
yeah,
as far as my political, I don't talk about it. I just, hey, this is how you get where you need to go. This is what it takes. This is what you need to do. I give note cards. You don't even have to take notes for the class. All you got to do is just study. Print the note cards out, laminate them, and study. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to write nothing out. You got to do nothing. You're going to get behind because I've been doing this 16 years and you haven't been doing it 16 years. So if I teach you for 3 months how to code in SQL, you're going to be behind. You're not going to, at the end of 3 months, know how to code in SQL. That's not how it works. I just told that to a guy because he was all frustrated. I said, bro, it's going to take you it takes you months, man. But, so I don't tell people, don't come in here and think you're going to learn this in 2 weeks. So we have that mindset. Black people, we think, oh, I can learn this. Well, how you going to find something that pays $100 and some,
in 2 weeks,
and you can learn it in 2 weeks?
Stop. Everybody would do it.
Yeah, that's mythology. That's not, no, it's going to take you some time, but can you do it in about 7, 8, 9? Yeah, you could. Could you be out there looking for a job in 6, 7 months? Yeah, you could. It's feasible if you study. But I asked that you give me about 160 to 200 hours of self-study. If you don't, that's how much it takes for you to become proficient. 200 hours of self-study.
I thought it was
I've been doing this for 8 years.
Oh, 200 hours be proficient, 10,000 be a master.
Well, yeah, but I'm trying to get you to the proficient level so you go get a job.
Got you.
And I'm going to give you the note cards that are the actual interview questions. I've been going on interviews. I've been doing this for 16 years. I've been on a lot of interviews. I know what these companies going to ask you because I'm giving you my skill set. I get a job. I get a job in a month and a half, 2 months because I know what to do. So all you got to do is just know what to say, and it works. And I've had students get jobs. So, I don't believe in certifications. I don't do that. We don't do well, I ain't gonna say one of my classes they did teach, a couple of them they did teach certification, but I don't do certifications. I don't. I teach you, I get your resume together, I teach you how to talk. That's what's gonna get you the job. I can put you a resume together and give them to call you tomorrow or Monday, Blanche. They'll be calling you. Problem is, do you know what you're talking about?
Right.
If they ask you, okay, so walk me through, your resume says this. Okay, so tell me, how would you fix a report if it's running slow? What steps would you take?
Hold on. So how are you going to have my job experience match what you telling me?
It's a couple of ways I do it. So number one, there's two ways. Number one, I can put Lifting the Veil IT Academy. I call it the apprenticeship program, and I put that on your resume, right? And okay, I give you 12 or 13 different bullet points. I give you a one-page resume. Your job doesn't have, you don't have, what you don't do is put a resume up talking about you work at Walmart, as a stocking shelves, or
right.
I work as a school teacher. You're not going to get a phone call like that. You will. Let me tell you something. When it comes to jobs and companies, getting a certification, you're talking single-digit percentages of companies that will actually even give you a look just with a certification. So what you want to do is you either give some real world experience on that resume that companies are looking for, which is what I would do. That's one way, right? If you feel comfortable, and a lot of students feel comfortable, and I always ask, man, what you trying to do? You trying to get to the bag? Do you feel comfortable? How do you feel? Well, man, I don't care. I'm just trying to get to the bag. Well, some students, what they do is they'll give me their job experience. Say you work at whatever company, ABC Corporation, and you say, okay, what do you do at ABC Corporation? Well, I'm a front desk. I just answer the phone. And okay, well, we'll change it and say you made reports. Now you pass the background check. Why? Because they're going to check with the state and you'll pass the background check. So it's a couple of ways you could do stuff. Now, not everybody's comfortable doing that, and I understand why. But what I'm saying is those are the ways my students have gotten jobs, those two ways. But what I don't do is just, go take a certification test. Usually when you hear people talking about these certification tests, these are people that didn't get the certification test. They might have a certification, but they didn't get it to get a job. Me, I came off the street cold turkey with no experience and got a job. I know what it takes to get a job, and I know what companies won't give you a job for. So just a certification, yes, you'll hear that case or that story where this guy got a certification and he got a job. But I've been doing this company has been around 8 years. I've been on the phone. I do a lot of consultations all the time. I've talked to people with PhDs. I've talked to people with MBAs. I'm telling you, it's a lot of people that get degrees and can't get jobs. That's another thing. If you get it, you might go into STEM, you go into tech. If you don't get an internship, just drop out. It's not even worth it.
Why not?
Because if this the thing, that's my situation, right? I went to school, got a business and information systems degree, no internship experience. So I didn't have a resume. So I couldn't get a job because nobody's like, well, bro, you ain't even got a resume. They don't care about you knowing how to code C++ and Java. They didn't care. Nobody would even talk to me. I would go to career fairs and they would all ignore me. Colleges don't tell you the truth, man. If you don't get an internship, college is not worth it for tech. Now, I don't know about other fields. If you got a 2.8, 2.9, just give it up. You'll be lucky to get an internship. This is the thing. Go to the wrong school and you get these hard professors in classes like finance, or you might get a math class and you struggling, you get a D, you done. You done. That has reverberations that's gonna ripple for the next, you're not going to be able to get an internship that following summer because your GPA going to drop. They're going to want to see. Why? Because what they see when you apply for an internship, they ask for your transcript. That's why it's best to go to the community college because you can kind of skip the process and say, well, if I go to the community college, I can still get the internship. It's easier. The classes are easier. People don't they don't put that into the equation. They think you're going to go to college and get all A's. No, a lot of people going to college and getting C's, B's.
Right.
So you got people with 2.6, 2.8, 2.9, 3.1.
Yeah.
You need to be 3.4, 3.5 or higher. They tell you. Let me tell you something. I got one company that reached out to me. It was the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, this was in the 90s. They was going to give me $10 an hour. I was going to have to pay for my own place to stay. And it was going to be $10 an hour. I didn't want it. I was like, man, they highway robbery. But, knowing what I know now, I probably should have did it if I wanted to get a job. But nobody told me that, especially if you ain't got nobody in these career departments that can tell you the truth. Like you need to get, if you're in a degree in a field and you have no internship, it's going to be hard. Internships are imperative. And guess what? It's competitive. It is competitive to get an internship because you compete with all these people at all these other colleges. So that career fair that y'all have at the college that we used to have at Tuskegee, it was serious. But my GPA was 2.9. I never forget. I had talked this guy up, man. He was finna give me an internship at Lockheed Martin. And this is in the 90s, man. They was paying like $6,000 a month.
I stay right by Lockheed Martin.
Bro, they was finna give me $6,000 a month. I'm talking about like 1998.
$6,000 a month in 1998?
The .com era, man. Yeah. Folks was making a killing. Oh, yeah. $6,000 a month you get. And then I had this other dude had went the year before. He said, man, you gonna love it, bro. They sit you up, they get you this townhome. It's gonna be you and one other person, and they give you this, they give you that. I was like, oh man, and the dude was talking. He's okay. Now send me your transcript. I sit there joking my transcript. He called me back. He called my room. He called my dorm. He said, can't do it. He said, you need at least a 3.3 or 3 or higher. So you got a 2.9. Man, I was so hurt. That's the truth. And the reason I had a 2.9, I had a couple of classes that was hard, man. Like not all these classes. You go to college, man. Some professors, man, they don't care, bro. They gon' I remember,
they gonna try to fail you.
Well, it's gonna be hard. Like I know it now, but I knew it by the time I left. But still, they stuck it to me bad. And I remember just like getting frustrated. And I remember other people, getting these internships. This African guy had already knew C++ because he learned it. He already had a degree and got a full ride scholarship. They giving him. I'm like, why y'all got this dude over here with a degree from some Nigerian college? He over here, and y'all giving him a full ride that some other black kid could have got. He gets over there. He already knew C++. It was crazy. That was back then. They was bringing Africans over there. And this guy, he was a nice guy. His name was Fade. He was from Nigeria. But Fade was like, he already knew it. I didn't know it. It was my first time ever learning C++.
Right.
This joker was like, he already knew all that. Showed me his code. I said, bro, he's like, yes, I was doing this at home in Africa. And then I'm like, man.
So he came over making a killing then.
Oh yeah, I think he got on with Hewlett Packard. He got on with Hewlett Packard. Dang sure did. So
all right, sub.
Yeah, but he had the scholarship. I get that. I get why he had the scholarship. What I'm saying is the scholarship wasn't for Africans. The scholarship was for anybody. And if you're trying to help people, That's why I'm for. I don't believe in this FBA. I don't like Tariq Nasheed, but they shouldn't look at us as the same. We're not the same group of people. We're just not. And that's just, you see what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be a situation where, okay,
like if you say we have an initiative to reach out to Black
African Americans.
Yeah, Black people in STEM, and then they go to Africa to get somebody. Yeah, I got that.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
Say you looking out for Africans, then okay, cool. That's the African program. That ain't what they was doing. Anyway, hey brother, thank you for having me. And guys, like I said, I got a new channel. The handle is right there. Well, yeah, Sub-Zero3639 again, because this is my third channel. So, you know.
Let me put it in here real quick. So y'all can get it this last time.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, bro. Thanks for putting me up there, bro. It's been rough, but I'm gonna start back up, man. I'm gonna probably next week I'll probably go back live, and I'm still gonna simulcast on Rumble. So all my old content still on Rumble. So it is what it is. Y'all come over there and check me out. Everybody stock up. Prepare for terror. Oh.
Everybody stock up and prepare for terror attacks around the holidays from late November to late February 10th, 10 to 15 cities simultaneously. I know it's all subject, but this is serious and real.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, man. Y'all, okay, well, stock up, y'all. We got, I guess, October is coming up. So I guess, you know, you don't take much. You can buy a little each week. Stock up on some stuff. But yeah.
I can see that terror attack because they're gonna force us into Iran for their benefit. You know who it is.
So what's a terror attack?
Terrorist.
Oh, like I got you. I got you. Code word for I got you. I'm like,
yeah, man. You know, they're gonna make up some reason. You remember when they tried to shoot Trump last summer? Trump went on Truth Social talking about, Iran tried. I'm like, bro, that wasn't no Iran, man. Stop it. Stop it. He went up there talking about Iran. I'm like, Lord have mercy. They just gonna make something up, boy. Up until when I first used to believe in 9/11, I would have believed it.
Right.
I used to think I used to be like, oh, that's the biggest threat. Oh, and Israel is our greatest ally. Okay. I ain't gonna go there.
Right.
So, hey man, thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. And y'all be sure to check out his school, the Lifting the Veil Academy. That is, once again, www.ltvacademy.com.
Check me out, man. Schedule a consultation and we'll get the party going, man.
We trying to get to this money, y'all. 6 figures in 6 months.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. One thing I do, I don't know about now, but when the pandemic hit, it was lovely because what I did was I stacked up 3 jobs. And man, you can make 30, 40 a month, man. I mean, it was just lovely, bro. It was so, you know, you still can get remote jobs, but people that got slick now, they want you to come in the office once, twice a week.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Y'all come check me out over there.
Yeah. Y'all be sure to follow us, Sub-Zero.
Thanks, bro.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, y'all. We go through this real quick. Thank you, All Productions, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. It's past our bedtime, but thank you so much. Thank you again. Thank you, Cruise Miss, always supporting. Thank you. Thank you, Alethea. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Sir Tice was good, Blanche. Salute and respect. I always love your candidness, and I've referenced your commenter sub salute as always. What's your new channel? We put that up several times, but thank you, Sir Tice. And the Scrapping Beauty, love you, Blanche, and your guest. Thank you so much, Scrapping Beauty. A little late today, but love y'all, and we'll see y'all soon on I want to go live tomorrow. I don't know. But thank y'all so much. Love y'all.